Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Good evening, friends, and welcome inside Memorial Gardens. Tonight's OHL matchup features the Sioux Greyhounds come running into town for their first of 2 visits this year to take on the Central Division leading North Bay Battalion. I'm your host, Derek Lindemann, and this is the Frontline pregame show brought to you by...
The pregame show is brought to you by La Huerta Imports, family owned and operated since 1995. Visit LaHuertaImports.com for more details.
And I'm going to welcome in at this time Lyndon Holcamp. Welcome, Lyndon, to another Thursday evening broadcast. It's Teddy Bear Toss Night here in North Bay, and it's going to be exciting. Teddy Bears are going to be flying momentarily, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, anyone sitting close to the glass is going to have to watch their heads there. The Teddy Bears will come flying after the first goal.
These two teams don't really meet often. The Sioux Greyhounds are in the Western Conference, the North Bay Battalion in the East. They've met twice already this year, splitting the games up in the Sioux, with the Sioux Greyhounds winning that first match, or winning the second matchup 6-4, and the Battalion getting the opener 4-1. This will be the first time we get to see them on the Memorial Gardens ice.
Yeah, interesting. The Sioux and North Bay don't play that often, being the few northern teams in the OHL. You think they'd try to match them up more often, but you mentioned North Bay starting the season out in the Sioux, and now they're making the return trip here for the first time tonight.
The Sioux Greyhounds haven't been off to the start that they hoped to have, as they come into tonight's game with a 8-10, 4-4 record, not up to par with what has been known of in the future. But they are a quick team, and you can't take anything for granted when you're facing the Sioux Greyhounds.
Yeah, definitely not. We're like you said, we're used to the Sioux Greyhounds, a very well-run team, often a very competitive team, especially lately. So having a bit of an off year for them as they maybe restructure a little bit, look to the future, but should, like you said, never an easy game.
No, it's not. So let's take a quick look at our players to watch tonight, as brought to you by Mike the Financial Guy.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
tonight's players to watch, they'll feature the top two scorers, or the top scorers of each team. As for the Sioux Greyhounds, it's going to be their leading scorer, Bryce McConnell Barker. He's got 30 points, evenly split between 15 goals, 15 assists. And for the North Bay Battalion, Kyle Jackson, who is my pick for tonight's game to get the Teddy Bears into the ice surface. So I'm going with Kyle Jackson. We'll talk about the rest of the group later on and who they're picking. But let's start with the Sioux Greyhounds. Bryce McConnell Barker, the leader of this team, both offensively and off the ice. He's the captain of the Greyhounds.
Yeah, you mentioned the importance of him as the captain of the team. He's playing the role well right now, leading the team in scoring as well, and we'll hope to see a big game from him.
He was most recently drafted by the New York Rangers last year in the third round, so he is a athlete that has come back from their rookie camp, and he's got something to prove because he wants to make that next step to the NHL, and he's doing an excellent job so far leading his team on the ice.
Yeah, not too many guys on this Sioux Greyhounds roster picked to the NHL yet. Just one other draft, Kirill Kuryatsev, picked by the Canucks, but they're, like I said, you're a bit of a younger team, so having that veteran presence with a little bit of NHL, at least rookie camp experience, is useful for the Sioux Greyhounds.
And then let's look at the North Bay Battalion side now. Kyle Jackson leading the team, 31 points. There's a couple of them with 31 points across the board, but Jackson, 16 goals, 15 assists. He's halfway to the point total he had last year. He had 62 last year, so he's halfway there.
Yeah, that big North Bay offense we've been accustomed to seeing this year. 3 guys on 31 points. Kyle Jackson, one of them, listed as the top line center tonight. He's a big presence out there for the battalion, and we'll look for more of that tonight.
He was a 7th-round draft pick last year by the Seattle Kraken, and he was unanimously the favorite player picked by the North Bay Battalion to be the goal scorer tonight for the Teddy Bear goal. Who do you think is going to get the Teddy Bear goal, Lyndon?
I've got Matvey Petrov. We haven't seen this battalion team in a little while, and before their road trip, I've always likened Petrov's scoring abilities.
I know we took a poll of our crew here. I know producer Ben Long, he went with Dallin Wakely. We had Courtney Kenny go with Ethan Precision. Haven't got Matt Sucrum's call of who's going to be that Teddy Bear toss, but he's got Bloom. There you go. He's alive in the pool. I know we talked to Bob Coles, the PA guy. He wanted Ty Nelson. Chris Dawson went with McDonald scratched tonight. and I know I'll get back to Chris Van Steensel. Yeah, that's right. Owen Van Steensel for Dawson. And the general manager, Adam Dennis, off the air, he took newcomer to the team, Luke Ruskowski. We'll talk about him momentarily. So very wide spread out. We got the board covered. We want to see those Teddy Bears come early. I'm going to get down the rink side momentarily and see if I can get an interview with that heroic goal scorer. Last year was Brandon Coe getting that Teddy Bear goal. 897 Teddy Bears hit the ice surface last year. We're looking to top that 1,000 mark tonight.
Yeah, hopefully North Bay can do that. Like you said, lots of guys eligible for the pick with the way this North Bay team is built. And hopefully they'll come nice and early into the game, and the crowd will get into it, and we can hit that 1,000 mark for support the local charities.
Yeah, hopefully we can, and it's a good cause, as all Teddy Bears will stay for local charities. The big news that really hit the air on Wednesday was the trade with the Sioux Greyhounds. Luke Bruskowski coming over from the Greyhounds for a pair of picks. Not really has been talked about. Bruskowski, he unfortunately has missed the whole month of November due to a scary incident. He got hit in a game in Ottawa by Tyler Boucher, and he suffered a seizure, and he's finally cleared to get back to playing action. We're going to get to see him here against his former team, a 6'1" defenseman, left shot defenseman, who Adam Dennis describes as a stay-at-home defender that they've had their eye on for some time.
Yeah, it's another body for this North Bay lineup who are down a couple of defensemen right now with some injuries, and it's always kind of funny when a guy gets traded to the team he's playing the next night. So he's playing against his former team right away. As you mentioned, his first game back after that scary incident against Ottawa, and we'll see what he can put up tonight.
Yeah, he was actually in town on Wednesday evening. He came down ahead of time with one of the assistant coaches of the Sioux Greyhounds. His equipment arrived today on the Greyhounds bus, so it's really weird how things work inside the OHL training circles, and it's just another body, a very dependable body that the North Bay Battalion can have on that back end. We know that they're going to be without Avery Winslow, who's dealing with a cut on his ankle. His timeline is not known right now, and Tanias Mathern is out just having shoulder surgery, so he's recovering from that. He's not supposed to be back until playoffs possibly. And then also on the forward line, there's no Kyle McDonald tonight. He is still dealing with back spasms. He's basically day-to-day, week-to-week, so hopefully we can see him back in the lineup. But it's really depleting when you take those three out of the lineup.
Yeah, it really is, and that's why it's valuable for a team like North Bay that's looking at another long run this year to add a body like that, a good stay-at-home defenseman that you can make use of to replace people if you lose guys to injuries, which you're going to.
And it just sees how much that Adam Dennis has his finger on this North Bay Battalion club and willing to go out there and get the pieces to the puzzle that he feels is necessary to get to that next round. They made it to the Eastern Conference semifinals, losing to a strong Hamilton Bulldogs team who really bulked up at the trade deadline. And they want to get to that next step. They want to get to that OHL championship, and if not, even going away with the J.S. Robertson Cup this year.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, as the saying goes, defense wins championships, right? So if you can, we know North Bay has the offense. We were talking earlier, you have 3 guys on 31 points, a whole bunch of guys just behind them in the 20s. So to add a solid defenseman to the back end will really be helpful down the stretch.
So let's take our look at the North Bay Battalion lineup. They have only 11 forwards dressed in tonight's game. A scratch from tonight's lineup is Brett Bouchard, along with Kyle McDonald. And Jacob Therrien will be missing from the forward lineup. And on defense, they're going to dress 7D, as right now Bruskowski is penciled in with Kennedy as that third defensive pairing, and Turley will be the 7D, so we'll see how he fits in to the game plan for tonight.
Yeah, as always when you add somebody new, we're probably going to be expecting a little bit of playing around with that from Ryan Ulan and the bench there.
Yeah, and knowing that Luke hasn't really dressed in some time since October 30th, it's how much of his time management are they going to have to use to make sure that he gets back into game shape. He hasn't practiced with this team, so it's a whole new defensive structure, and that's a lot of what the North Bay Battalion are built around, is how strong they are in their defensive zone.
Yeah, exactly. So look for Brzezinski to get moved around a little bit maybe, and maybe take the odd shift off. Like you said, he's just got to give him some time to get back up to speed and get back into a new team.
And now let's look at the goaltenders. Starting tonight for the Sioux Greyhounds is Samuel Ivanov. He comes in with a 4-4-2 record, a 349 goals against average, and an 879 save percentage.
Yeah, the Sioux Greyhounds splitting the games a lot between their 2 goalies. Both playing 14 games this season. And you mentioned Greyhounds, a 500, a little bit below 500 record, 879 save percentage. He's the Sioux goalie. It makes sense when you've got a bit of a younger team to split that time between 2 guys, so you have 2 you're comfortable with.
Yeah, and then looking at the North Bay Battalion, we're going to get to see Charlie Robertson back in goal. He comes in with a 5-3 record, a 329 goals against average, and an 876 save percentage. The last time he was on Memorial Gardens ice, they shut out the Ottawa 67s 5-0. That's going to be a night that Robertson remembers.
Yeah, definitely a big game for a younger goalie like Robertson to come in and shut out the team that had been dominant up to that point in the OHL, to really gives a good confidence boost to his career and to your team. So coming back here after a long road trip, we'll see what if he can provide the same kind of energy to the team.
He's looking to bounce back also, as the last time he was in action was in Niagara against the Ice Dogs. They lost that game 6-5, and Robertson let in a couple weak goals early on. He needs to get off to that hot start and get into the game tonight. The key for him is to field pucks early, and gain that confidence throughout the game.
Yeah, definitely. Like you mentioned, I mean, yeah, he's a younger goalie. He's gonna have those kinds of off nights and those kinds of struggles with a couple of softer goals, and it'll be good to have the home crowd here and to have, like you said, to get those feels early and get comfortable as the game goes on.
And it's going to be a good crowd here. I know, talking to some of the Battalion staff before the game, they were up to almost 3,000 tickets sold. They're hoping to have one of the largest crowds here tonight for the Brick Teddy Bear Toss night, and it's going to be electric. I want to see those teddy bears out there early, and I want to see Kyle Jackson, who I took, to score that goal.
How early are we thinking? A minute in? Is that how early we're hoping? Or?
Well, if you're the coaching staff, you want to get that goal out of the way early. That's always one of the questions that they ask the coaches on the bench, is how much does that either damper the momentum or freeze the team? Either way, it's a lot more energy picking up for that home team compared to the visiting team.
Yeah, but we saw in Kitchener the other night, they had their teddy bear toss, and that was a long delay. Good for the charity, but for the hockey team, I'm sure they're a little annoyed with the delay.
Yeah, over 8,000 bears that night. But we're all set here for Teddy Bear Night from Memorial Gardens. When we return, Matt Sukram will join us for the play-by-play action here tonight as the Greyhounds take on the Battalion.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Good evening and welcome to Memorial Gardens. My name is Matthew Sukram alongside Lyndon Hukip, and we are excited for tonight's Battalion game as the troops get set to take on the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. It's the third meeting between these two teams this season. The Battalion has skated away with victories both times in Sault Ste. Marie. They split the season series so far in Sault Ste. Marie. It was the Greyhounds coming away with a 6-4 win on October 1st, while the North Bay Battalion won the opening matchup just a day earlier, 4-1, back on September 30th. But obviously the big storyline is that there's some new personnel on the Battalion side that's a little familiar with the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhound side.
Yeah, we mentioned that trade of Luke Bristovich from the Sioux Greyhounds to the North Bay Battalion just happening yesterday. And Bristovich suiting up for his first game in a little while, coming off of that scary moment against the 67s. And we'll see what he has in store tonight.
Well, the North Bay Battalion are coming off a pretty impressive road stretch. They played 5 straight games on the road. They lost the first of those 2 games back in Hamilton and Niagara, but in the 3 games since, they have been absolutely dominant. 7-4 win over Sudbury, a 4-2 win over Kingston, and then a 3-0 shutout win over Peterborough, which was Dom DiVincentis' first career OHL shutout. However, they're going with Charlie Robertson in net tonight, and this is going to be just the second time that Charlie Robertson starts on home ice this season.
Yeah, Derek and I were talking in the pregame about Robertson looking a little shaky against Niagara in that road game, but hoping to channel some of that game against the 67s where he got his first OHL shutout here in Memorial Gardens.
Puck is dropped and we are underway. It's sent in towards the Greyhound zone. Now center, Romani's there and he scores! Let's get those Bears flying early! 12 seconds into this game. That's got to be some kind of, if not a Battalion record, an OHL record. Anthony Romani and the North Bay Battalion lead 1-0. What a quick goal that was.
That did not take them much time at all. That, dare I say, that looked almost harmless off the draw down into the Sioux end, and Romani just picks it up at the face-off dot and wires it past Ivanov. And 12 seconds in, let the Teddy Bears go.
Anthony Romani with his 7th goal of the season. And I think we're able to bring Derek in, who is between the benches tonight. Let's see if we can hear in from Derek. Derek, what do you got for us?
Sorry, skated away from me. They're going to take a quick picture, and then I'm going to see if I can catch up to the goal scorer momentarily.
Derek, what did you see on that goal? Obviously, it was a quick play into the corner, and Romani was just in the right spot at the right time.
Not much. I was just getting down here, so it was tough to see what really happened as they were just clearing out the box in between.
All right, so we are just waiting for Derek. He's going to grab a player, and we'll have an on-ice interview live with a player as they clean up the ice tonight. They have a number of minor hockey league players out here to help with the cleanup, and it's always nice when the Battalion can involve members of the community, Lyndon, when they can get out here. And not only do they get to take in a Battalion game, but they get to actually be a part of a Battalion game right here.
Yeah, exactly. Always great to see
Sure.
the community get involved in the game and get everyone involved here.
All right, let's go down to Derek, who's got Ty Nelson with him.
So I'm standing here with Ty Nelson. Ty, how does it feel to see this goal come so early in the game?
I think it's like we planned for. It's great, right? I mean, we wanted to get the goal out of the way, let the Bears down, and get back to business.
So what was it like hosting that podcast the other night?
A lot of fun. I know me and Dom had a lot of fun hosting it. Just kind of working together there to make a good 100th episode.
So what's one of your favorite memories from the holiday season?
I think honestly just just spending the time with my family, going home, especially last year. Just getting to spend the time with all my family, my cousins, aunt, uncle, mom and dad, and sister, of course. So I think that's probably my favorite memory.
Well, Ty, I won't keep you long. Go enjoy this moment.
Thank you so much to Ty Nelson for doing that interview with us. They look like they are getting those teddies cleaned up pretty quickly here, but man, that was awesome to see.
Looking like they might need a third pickup truck out there to collect them all
They
up.
might have to. And so, Derek, we'll get your take on this. Probably better for, okay, it looks like we're going to have Anthony Romani join us. Okay, this is live broadcasting on the fly here, so take it away again, Derek.
Well, can you tell me about that moment? How magical was that for you?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Before this took into the game, just saw my two linemen forechecking, and they got me the puck right in front, and I had to carry that one.
Did you really think that it was going to come this early in the game?
No, I didn't expect that at all, but
What a big moment. Good job, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Awesome to hear from Anthony Romani live on the ice as they finish up the teddy bear cleanup. I'm Matthew Sukram along with Lyndon Hoopkamp, and Derek Lindeman is down at ice level. Derek, probably better actually for both teams that goal got out of the way early, do you think?
I think so, and I know that was something that we talked about during the pregame show with Lyndon, is how quick it was going to happen, and Lyndon was like 30 seconds in. I was like, I don't really think so, but it only took 12 seconds, and that's exactly it. It's really good for both teams because it's not really going to kill any momentum. Both teams really haven't been able to get into the game so far, so it's going to be like starting fresh over again, and only 12 seconds are off the clock.
Lyndon, it absolutely is kind of like resetting only for the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. You're down by a goal now.
Yeah, it's to get a bit of a chance to reset here might be good for the Greyhounds, but really not a big deal to in terms of momentum or anything to get this game back underway with only 12 seconds off the clock.
And again, the North Bay Battalion, last time they were here on home ice was that big shutout win over the Ottawa 67. So they want to come in and give these fans something to cheer about early. They've done that. Now it's time to settle in and see if they can keep peppering the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds here.
Yeah, the North Bay team playing a lot of games on the road lately, and to be able to get this home crowd into the game quickly will be helpful.
So here we go, play back underway, and once again it's inside the Sault Ste. Marie the Greyhound zone. It comes out to the neutral zone, and it's carried in by Cloutier. Tries to play it to Duarte. It's knocked off of his stick, and Van Steensel picks it up and goes the other way. Dumped in, it goes off the back of the net. Romani's right there. He can't get the puck. Van Steensel throws a hit in the corner, but the puck comes down to Cloutier. And it's out down the ice. The Greyhounds now into the zone. There's a shot wide. Comes right back in front of the net. Save made. Robertson scrambling, and he jumps on top of it for a quick save. So the Greyhounds were trying to answer the call there and score on their first shot of the game.
Yeah, a little bit of a scramble in front of Charlie Robertson there. We're talking about in the pregame, Robertson trying to get comfortable early in the game, and not sure what that's going to do for him. Puck taking a weird bounce and just hanging loose in front of the net for a few seconds.
Just 53 seconds into the period, and the faceoff is to the near side of the zone, and the Greyhounds win it back, but they have to chase it all the way down the ice. From their own end, they get it out to the neutral zone. It's knocked around off a couple sticks. Greyhounds play it back. Connor Toms in the corner, trying to clear it. The Battalion keep it in at the blue line and now dump it in behind the net. Jackson's back there. Jackson takes a spill, and that will allow Toms to get it up ahead to Hookie. And Hookie gets stopped right in front of the North Bay bench. Flips the puck behind the North Bay blue line, and it's caught by Nelson over to Hislop. And Hislop dumps it down into the far side corner. That's picked up there by Wakely of the Battalion. He flips it around the boards, and it comes out to the neutral zone. Nelson chasing it back the other way. Plays it across to the far side in his own zone, and now the pass down to Tarasevic is blocked by his stick, and so it's picked up by the Greyhounds. This is Gibson getting it down the ice. Kennedy sends it back the other way for Petrov, over to Tarasevic, coming in on the right wing. He drops it back for Petrov in the line. He overskates it. Kennedy helps him out. He gets it back to him, and then he flips it in behind the net. Tarasevich takes over, sends it to the point for Bertowski. The shot that goes off the body of Ivanov and into the far side boards. Picked up off those boards by Kennedy. Plays it back along the half boards of Petrov. Up high in the zone. Bertowski's shot goes wide. Coming back in on the right side. Pinching in is Kennedy. He plays it around the M boards to the near side. That's Bertowski there. He gets it to the point to Petrov. Petrov walking across the line, sends it to the right side to Kennedy. Kennedy fires it in, and it went off the pads of Ivanov and to the near side boards. Wakely there. Kicks it around, sent to the far side boards. That is Kudratsev who has it. He is finally able to clear for the Greyhounds. It doesn't go very far. It's right back in their zone, and now Gibson looks to play it. Long shot in. Big rebound from Robertson, and then he has to kick a secondary chance away into the corner. North Bay get the puck, but they can't clear it out of the zone. The Greyhounds have it at the near side boards. Trying to move the puck back deep in the zone. It's blocked by Precision. He gets it up ahead to Bloom. Bloom coming in on the left wing side. Stops at the top and then sends it to the point to Turley. Turley's pass across the zone is blocked, and down the other way go the Greyhounds. Coming in on the back check, Turley is able to poke the puck off Kostov's stick, and it goes into the far side corner, negating a breakaway chance there. In the far side corner, and knocked down is Connor Clattenburg, and that is going to be a call coming up against the North Bay Battalion. So, with 16:34 left to go in the first period, Battalion will find themselves shorthanded.
Yeah, there's a good job by Turley to get on his horse on the back check there and take that chance away. But unfortunately, North Bay fighting in their own end will take a penalty here, and we'll see the OHL's #1 ranked penalty kill come out for the Battalion.
They're going up against the 18th ranked power play of the Sioux Greyhounds. Check that. The Sioux Greyhounds power play clicking at a 20 for 102% rate. So just 19.2% on the power play for the Sioux Greyhounds. Stolen at the line, coming down the ice is Bloom. Bloom going down the right wing side, plays it in front of the net, and it's knocked away. Bloom with a really good shorthanded opportunity there. Play back into the North Bay zone. Ty Nelson trying to clear it out of the area. Watson stops it, plays it around to the far side boards, and that is taken over by the Battalion and cleared out of the zone and down the ice. 15:30 to go in period #1, and there's 50 seconds remaining in the penalty to Lukin, who got called for tripping. The Greyhounds bring it back down in the zone. Connor Toms there. Plays it back to the point to Gibson. Gibson back to Toms at the half boards. Down low, back out in front and whiffing on the shot. Then back to the point. Gibson has it. Goes to the right side. That is Mignosa. Mignosa tries to get it to, I believe, Dinatino down there. Now it's back up high in the zone. Gibson's shot goes wide of the net. Picked up off the boards by Wakely, and he clears the zone. 10 seconds to go with the Battalion going into the zone. Tarasevich takes the shot. It goes over the shoulder of the goaltender Ivanov and back out. Penalty is over. Lukin's on the ice. The Battalion survived that one and may have actually had two of the better chances within those 2 minutes. 14:20 to go in the first period. North Bay up 1-0, but here come the Greyhounds on a delayed 2-on-1 in the zone, but a good back check to break up the pass, and now the Battalion get it out of the zone. Petrov up ahead to Jackson. It's off his stick and corralled quickly by the Greyhounds in their own end. Carlisle sends it down the far side boards, picked up in the neutral zone. Coming down the left wing is Christopher Brown. He gets it into the left side circle, and now on the half boards, Ethan Montroy is there. Knocked away from his stick and played around to the near side. Couple players trying to dig it out of that area. Still down there. Now Hislop throws a hit on Allard. Check that was Hookie there. Hookie gets the puck back. Still on the near side boards. Twisting, turning, trying to look for a pass. It goes into the corner. Hislop is there to break up the play for the Battalion. Across to the far side. Kennedy flips it through the middle to Jackson, and Jackson sends it down the ice. The Greyhounds play it back up quickly. 13 minutes to go in the first period. North Bay up 1-0. Anthony Romani with the first goal of the game. 12 seconds in, his 7th of the season. The Battalion move the puck in the ground zone. There's a shot coming in from the blue line. Ivanov makes the save, and it's cleared down the ice. And on a breakaway attempt is Savard. Savard with the shot, and he's stopped by the goaltender Robertson for his 4th save of the game, and that was a big one.
That it was. We saw a little bit of the nerves there for Robertson, and that making that one on the breakaway look real easy. We've seen a pretty physical game here tonight, the battles in the corners, but a lot of the chances coming on those fast breaks for both teams.
Yeah, both teams are finding those passes through the neutral zone pretty good at this point. You think it's something the head coaches are going to want to get their teams to buckle down on defensively and at least limit those chances. Like you said, there's been a number of them through the first 7.5 minutes of this game. There's a chance on the left side circle, save made by Robertson, kicks it in the far side corner. And a battle ensues there. In behind the net, Christopoulos gets knocked in the boards. And that allows the Greyhounds to hold the puck in the far side corner again. They shovel it along the boards. Hookie's trying to get it away from that area. The Battalion get it away from his stick. And it's Van Steensel who sends it down the ice. Skating in to get the puck is Romani off the end board. Romani finds it, sends it in front of the net for Van Steensel. He can't get a shot off. What a nifty little play there from Van Steensel, trying to set up Romani on that stretch pass into the zone, and did well enough to make sure it wasn't going to be icing called so that Romani could actually play the puck. And now down the other way, chance on net. Robertson makes a save, but the Greyhounds continue to put the pressure on inside the offensive zone. It comes out of the zone, and it's Erdl going one-on-one for the Battalion. Erdl tries to drag it to the middle, but it's knocked off his stick. Jackson finds it. He goes to the board, sends it to the point. Nelson's shot comes in, but it's knocked wide. Nelson, who leads the team with 31 points, almost had another one there. Back down the other way, the Greyhounds come. They get blocked just in front of the blue line. Now it's Jackson for the Battalion going in. Jackson to the right side of the zone, flips it in front of the net, and Bloom could not bury that one. Bloom is coming off a 6-point week. 2 goals against the Wolves, 3 against the Kingston Frontenacs, and then an assist in that Peterborough game, and he was looking to keep the points piled up there on that play. Bloom now dumps it back into the far side corner of the Greyhound zone. Carlisle takes over there for the Greyhounds and then sends the puck down the ice. Coming down the right side is Clattenburg. It goes to the left side. The shot comes in wide of the net. Laid down in the half boards. Trying to move it along into the corner. They try to center it now. That gets blocked, and Petrov will skate it out of the zone. North Bay up 1-0. 10:25 to go in this period. Tarasevic gets hit by Carlisle as he was bringing the puck into the North Bay zone. Back the other way, Clattenburg. His pass to the right side is knocked away. But as Wakely came in to break up that pass with Virgilio coming in to try and accept the pass, Wakely knocked Virgilio's stick pretty high, and it looks like the officials are calling that. Actually, they're going to call it hooking on Wakely on that play.
Yeah, just watching the replay come in here. Yeah, he just wraps the stick and gets in front of the Greyhounds player. And we've seen fast chances at both ends this game. It's unbelievable how just up and down the ice this game's been. And we'll see the Battalion go on to their second penalty kill of the game.
And so, yes, the Sioux Greyhounds come in with the 18th ranked penalty kill, power play in the league, I should say, 19.6%. They've scored 20 times on 102 times shorthanded, while the North Bay Battalion, as you said, Lyndon, have the best penalty kill in the league right now. Certainly a source of pride for head coach Ryan Olan and his staff. But here come the Greyhounds, centering the puck. That one is blocked. They get it right back in the slot. Now dish it off to the right side. Duarte across the left side. Back up high. to the right side. It's Duarte again below the faceoff circle. Sends it down low. The shot goes off a skate and in behind the net. Back in behind the net, it's Watson. Played around to the far side boards. That looks like Kudratsev there. Kudratsev played across the near side. Duarte back to Kudratsev. To the left side coming in is McConnell Barker. His shot is stopped. Kick save back out to the slot and cleared away by the Battalion. 9 minutes to go. 1-0 North Bay lead. Trying to keep it that way. Shorthanded for another 50 seconds here with Wakely in the box. As the Greyhounds bring the puck right back down into the zone. Off the end boards. They can't control the puck at the line. North Bay can't clear now. Sent back in towards the goal line. Lucan gets knocked off the puck to the goal line. And now the Greyhounds center it. Duarte is right there, but he can't get it. A pass at the left side circle. The shot comes in, and that one is stopped by Robertson. Back to Kudratsev. Across the Savard, the shot comes in. Robertson thinks it's under his arm. It's actually under his pad, but the officials lose sight of it, so they blow the play down.
Robertson getting some help from his team here, giving up a couple of big rebounds, but the Battalion able to clear them in this penalty kill, and getting a little help from the officials there, I think, because he did not know where that puck went after making the save with his arm. And luckily getting the whistle and getting a chance to North Bay to regroup here with 22 seconds left in the penalty kill.
And you're right, it's been important for North Bay to clear out those rebounds. He's given up a couple of big ones right to the Greyhound sticks. 8:25 to go with 10 seconds remaining on the power play. And the puck is kept inside the North Bay zone. Shot around to the far side boards. Toms gets hit by Arnsby, but Gibson moves the puck towards the net. Now it's knocked away off a stick, picked up by Cloutier. Sends it in the corner. Out of the box is Wakely. Back to 5-on-5 as the puck remains inside the near side corner. The Battalion 2 for 2 on their penalty kill opportunities tonight. Still inside the near side corner in the North Bay zone. And the officials finally blow the play down with 7:56 to go, and that's where we will take our mid-period break. It's 1-0 North Bay.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the Alumni Job Portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
As we come back inside the Memorial Gardens here, we're just over halfway through the first period, and still a 1-0 game after that goal 12 seconds in from Romani that brought the Teddy Bears out here tonight.
Yeah, for Anthony Romani, that is his 7th goal of the season. He's just one away from tying his career high. He had 8 goals last year, and now he has surpassed his career high in points. He had 15. So he has 15 now. He had 14 points last year, so always nice to see an improvement in those numbers year over year for the second-year forward out of Pickering, Ontario.
Yeah, unfortunately for North Bay after the big start, behind in shots, 8-4 here with about 8 minutes to go. We've seen a lot of really quality chances from the Sioux Greyhounds and a couple of power plays from them. That's not helping North Bay.
No, it's not. However, the Battalion have been able to stave off the Greyhounds both on both those power play chances. But you don't want to keep giving a team like that too many chances when the deficit is just at 1 goal. The Battalion send the puck down the ice, and that will be icing called against the North Bay Battalion.
Yeah, the pass just out of Petrov's reach there, and we'll see North Bay regroup once again in their own zone and just struggling to get some offensive opportunities here early for the Battalion.
Sioux Greyhounds not off to the greatest start in franchise history at 8-10-4-4. I mean, that's a lot of single points that have been left on the table when you've already played 8 overtime games and have lost 4 of those, either in overtime or in a shootout. They've only won 1 overtime game, so they've actually been in 9 of those already through their first 26 games of the season. And here come the Greyhounds again towards the North Bay net. There's a shot on Robertson. He makes the save, and that is already It should be 9 now. If they give it to
will be,
Yeah.
They'll, so we just wait for the scoreboard to update here. You mentioned the Sioux Greyhounds playing a lot of extra hockey. That's got to add up for them at some point here, whether that's towards the end of the season or just after long games like that. You're playing a lot of extra hockey and leaving a lot of points on the table.
Yeah, and the Sioux Greyhounds, a bit uncharacteristic that they're actually one of the lowest scoring teams. They're actually the lowest scoring team in the they're actually the lowest scoring team in the Western Conference. And actually, they're the lowest scoring team in the league, excuse me. Let's go down to Derek Lindemann for a check. We have 7 minutes remaining in the first period. North Bay are up 1-0. Derek, what are you seeing from down below? We'll get Derek on the next whistle there as play resumes here. Podolou moving the puck over the blue line, sends it into the corner for precision. He carries it around, goes to the far side boards. Van Steensel's there, tries to play it to line to Lukin. It gets past his stick, and chasing it down the ice is Savard for the Greyhounds. Him and Christopoulos collide going into the end boards, and coming out of that little scrum is Lukin with the puck. Lukin skates up to blue line, takes a spill, or check that was Podolou. Took a spill, but is eventually able to get up and clear it back down through the neutral zone. Carlisle chases for the Greyhounds. He plays it up ahead to Duarte, and Duarte now plays it back in the zone. Now there's a clearing attempt. Shot right back in by Nelson, but that will be icing call against the North Bay Battalion. 6:15 to go, 1-0 North Bay lead. Derek, ever since they've scored, the Greyhounds have really taken control of this game.
Yeah, and it was helped by a lot by those 2 penalty calls that went against the North Bay Battalion. I'm really impressed with the way Charlie Robertson has been performing in this game. Like I said in pregame, he's a guy that needs to feel pucks early and gain that confidence, and he's definitely done that, making 9 saves, looking really confident in the net, tracking the puck and staying square to those shooters.
Thanks so much, Derek. Playback underway, 6 minutes to go as Nelson going coast to coast here, but he gets poked off the puck at the last second. Big chance though in the slot as Bloom was jumping all over the loose puck, but his shot got blocked in front of the net. The Greyhounds are able to get the puck, and they will carry it out of the zone. Mignosa coming down the ice, laying it in behind the net, goes to the far side boards. Trying to keep it over there is Kudratsev, and it's clear. Now it's the Battalion on the counterattack. Bloom trying to set it up in the slot, but that one got blocked. Mignosa carries it back the other way. Kudratsev plays it to the far side. On that far side, it's Hislop who finds the puck. Bertowski gets it up ahead to Tarasevic, and Tarasevic dumps it in towards Ivanov. Ivanov leaves it in front of his net for Gibson. Gibson tries to clear. Romani blocks the clearing attempt and plays it back in behind the net where Arnsby looks to pick it up. Arnsby trying to get away from a couple of hits. He centers it to Van Steensel, whose shot gets blocked by Ivanov. And now as Romani touches the puck, the whistle is blown. The hand is up. Slashing will be the call.
There's a broken stick on the ice. I'm not sure if that's what the referees are calling. That I believe it was the shot from Van Steensel that broke a stick, and I don't know if they thought he slashed it or what exactly the call was here.
So Van Steensel takes the shot, and it's Van Steensel who gets slashed. Van Steensel was basically trying to block the Greyhounds player from slashing him, and as that player stick made contact with Van Steensel's stick, it broke in half.
Yeah,
and all the officials saw was Van Steensel's stick going up to try and block it.
And a broken stick on the ice, and I guess that's what the call was. The North Bay faithful here giving it to the referees as the call was made.
So as play resumes, Watson caught the puck going into the zone, and I don't know if they're calling it a hand pass or if they called offside there on that last play. But then as the whistle went, Tarasevic threw a hit on Watson in the corner, and he went down pretty hard. And the officials got over there pretty quickly because you know that the Battalion are probably feeling pretty frustrated after that last call.
Yeah, I would be too if I'm a North Bay Battalion player out there right now. 3 penalties called against you after the hot start, and it's been tough sledding since that 12-second goal.
Yeah, I don't think those teddy bears have any effect now when you get 3 power play opportunities, right? Wakely with the puck, clears it down the ice. 4:20 to play in the first period. North Bay ahead 1-0 with 1:15 to go in the North Bay in the North Bay penalty kill with Van Steensel in the box. The puck dumped in and cleared right back out. Kuzdratev plays it up ahead. McConnell Barker sends it back in. He's Derek's player to watch tonight, and he flips it into the corner. From that corner, it's sent to the line. Kuzdratev across to the far side. McConnell Barker knocked off the puck, but he dished it off to the half boards, but that's picked up by Nelson, and it's sent down the ice. 40 seconds to play 40 seconds remaining in the Van Steensel penalty with 3:30 to play in the period in this 1-0 North Bay lead so far. Dumped into the North Bay zone. Behind the net, Arnsby can't clear it. It's sent to the line. Gibson plays it across the far side to Toms. Toms sends it around to the near side boards. Picked up there. The shot comes in. It's stopped by Robertson, and the rebound not cleared away. It's kept in the zone by Gibson. Pass to the left side. Toms back across the right. Plays broken up but not cleared out. Gibson stops that line. Plays it to the far side. Across the near side, it's out of reach of Minosa, and it's sent down the ice. Van Steensel's out of the box. He gets the pass. Tried to go in one-on-one, but quickly on the back check, Gibson is able to block him, and then Gibson was holding him against the boards, but the puck is not cleared out of the zone. As those two come apart, it goes all the way to the far side boards as Lukin is over there trying to shield the puck. They knocked away from him. Cloutier coming down the left wing side. Up to the red line and dumping it in. Somebody's stick is snapped in half in front of the North Bay net. And so there's errant pieces, or actually that was someone's neck guard down there. There's also a stick on the near side and all kinds of paraphernalia that the players are going to have to avoid down there as the Greyhounds bring the puck back in the zone, but they go offside. 2:12 to play in the first period. 1-0 North Bay lead.
Yeah, we saw a good chance from Van Steensel there. Just as he jumps out of the box, he was able to pick up a pass. I don't know if it was intended for him or if it just happened to be there, but he gets a chance to come in, and we hearing the crowd's reaction to the officiating once again as Van Steensel gets held up along the boards, and no call after the calls we've seen go against North Bay.
And here's another weird one. It was an offside call against the Greyhounds, but the face-off goes to the neutral zone. Not sure why that would be, but I mean, not the neutral zone, right at center ice, so that's an odd one. Thompson, off the draw, moves the puck in over the North Bay blue line. Holding it there, he dumps it in behind the net. Played to the far side corner, looking to get to the stick of Hookie. Hookie moving back up to the blue line, now tries to dish it back off in the corner. Hookie's still in that corner now. As the puck gets knocked around behind the net, Podolou looking to take over, and Podolou is able to dump it down the ice. Into the corner, Podolou battles against Carlisle there. Podolou knocked down behind the net. The puck comes out in front, and the Greyhounds are able to get it out of the zone. Hookie gets pushed by Bertowski, and the puck goes back into the Greyhound zone, but it's the Greyhounds in control. 1:10 remaining in the first period. 1-0 is the score for the Battalion. Sent around to the near side boards as the Greyhounds flip it in the North Bay zone. Picked up in the corner by Kennedy of the Battalion, and he tries to clear. That gets blocked by the Greyhounds, and they send it back in the corner. That's Duarte, who battles Bertowski. Kennedy involved as well. Puck gets knocked loose out of that area, now right back into their skates as Arnsby joins in. Arnsby had the puck for a second. lost it. It goes up to the blue line and then dumped back in behind the goal line. Bertowski gets tripped up by Duarte. No call there. Play on the far side boards. Now back in along the goal line. Duarte knocked off the puck by Kennedy. Kennedy, who got his second goal of the season on that road trip. He plays it to the far side boards. Now it comes out to the blue line. Gibson's there. He plays it down low in front of the net. A couple of chances there, but turned aside. Arnsby has it with 19 seconds to go in the period. He finds Van Steensel up high in the zone. He gets it up ahead into the neutral zone, skating in, a shot, and it's a kick save made by Ivanov. The kick save was made, and the puck comes right back out to the neutral zone. And now in the neutral zone, Watson finds it for the Greyhounds. Watson is knocked down hard by Nelson, and he flips the puck out of the zone as time expires. And as the buzzer goes, there's some pushing and shoving going on in the near side corner. The officials are getting involved, and we'll see if they indeed call anything here.
Little extra festivity from the after that sort of late hit as time expired there from Nelson on the Greyhounds player. Not the greatest period if you're the North Bay Battalion. Some unfortunate penalty calls, but you managed to keep them off the board and head into the intermission up 1-0.
Absolutely, yes, it is a 1-0 score. After 20 minutes, Derek will have your intermission. Coming right after this, for Lynn and I'm Matt, you're watching the Average Joe's Game Day broadcast on the Frontline broadcast YouTube channel. Stay tuned.
On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And welcome back inside North Bay Memorial Gardens. After one period of play, the North Bay Battalion lead the Sioux Greyhounds by a score of 1-0. That goal came early as Anthony Romani sent the Teddy Bears flying only 12 seconds into this game. That was his 7th of the year. Assisting on that goal was Liam Arnsby and Alexander Lukin. That was the only scoring in the first period of play, and it came just 12 seconds into the contest. 3 penalties in that period, all going to the North Bay Battalion. At 3:26, Lukin went off for tripping. Then Dallin Wakely went off for hooking at 9:48. And finally, at 15:03, Owen Van Steensel went off for slashing. Saying that, the Sioux Greyhounds were 0 for 3 on the power play in that first period. The North Bay Battalion without a penalty. but we're going to have to wait and see what came about at the end of that first period, as it looked like one of the Greyhound players was going to get assessed a penalty. It's not up on the board or on the score sheet yet, so we'll have to wait and see exactly what occurred. Shots on goal in that first period, the Sioux Greyhounds 10, the North Bay Battalion 7, and in the face-off dot, pretty even as the North Bay Battalion won 8 of the 15 draws. 4 other games on this Thursday night in the OHL. In Niagara, the Kingston Frontenacs lead the Ice Dogs by a score of 2-0. That is through one period of play. In Peterborough, the Kitchener Rangers lead the Peats by a score of 3-0. That's just a couple minutes left in the first period. Just getting underway in Barrie is the Saginaw Spirit are there to take on the Colts, and the other game sees the Windsor Spitfires. They're leading the Ottawa 67s by a score of 3-1. Let's turn our attention now to the professional leagues. 5 games on top in the NHL tonight. First off, the LA Kings are in Toronto to take on the Maple Leafs. That game is still scoreless after 20 minutes. After 20 minutes in Tampa Bay, the Lightning lead the Predators by a score of 2-1. Just getting underway is the Detroit Red Wings and the Florida Panthers. That game is scoreless 6 minutes into the contest. Getting underway momentarily, the Winnipeg Jets are in St. Louis to take on the Blues. And an 8:30 start sees the Ottawa Senators taking on the Dallas Stars. The Thursday nighter in the NFL sees the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Los Angeles Rams. That's an 8:15 start. But turning back to the Frontline podcast, they celebrated 100 episodes just recently. This past week, the 100th episode aired. You can now download it on wherever you get your Frontline on your podcast, whether it be Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, and now you can even see episodes on our YouTube channel. That's the Frontline Podcast YouTube channel, and that's exactly where you're seeing our broadcast, game broadcast, where you can follow along, not only with Battalion, but also with the Powassan Voodoos and the U18 Trappers. The Voodoos will be in action tomorrow night from Powassan. The Greater Sudbury Cubs will be in town to take on the Voodoos. That's a 7 o'clock start. We'll have it on the Frontline broadcast. But getting back to that 100th episode, why not have the general manager and the first ever guest on the inaugural podcast, Adam Dennis, as he sits down with Courtney Kenny, and they discuss the recent trade that saw Luke Bruskowski come into town for the North Bay Battalion.
Oh, it's always fun to have you on. And, well, there's a little bit of news that happened today, and I got to grill you a little bit. So as I jokingly texted you, you got to stop acquiring guys that are impossible to say. So I'll get you to try and pronounce the name. But you got a guy from the Sioux, a defenseman.
Yeah, Bruskowski is
go.
what I've been going with. I'll let him, I'll meet him. I haven't met him in person yet, so I'll make sure I get it straight if that wasn't the answer. But yeah, no, a player that we've been, kind of watching for a little while now. Obviously had a pretty scary injury there, but has been totally cleared, has been, getting some conditioning for a while and has gone through a couple skates. So we're looking forward to having him in the lineup, and what'll be, I'm sure, an emotional one for him, especially first time back in a long time and playing against his old team. So I'm sure a lot of emotions going on through his head.
Yeah, I mean, what a strange set of coincidences that he's coming to play in North Bay in his very first game against the Sioux, which, I mean, of course, you guys play the Sioux regularly for a team in the West, but it's still an East versus West game, which doesn't happen very often.
No, it definitely helps with travel. So, like, I believe he's got an assistant coach that's coming with him right now, but the team bus was coming up here anyway, so he was able to throw his bag on, and it worked out well travel wise, but certainly not your ordinary circumstance.
So I know it's been touched on before. We know Mathurin's going to be out for a while. We know Winslow. There's no yet real timetable on that. But how does this help you in the short term and the long term?
Well, I think the one thing that we realized last year is that when you go through a playoff, when you go through any type of series, there's bumps, there's bruises, as we're going through right now. So we really felt, just with where our team was at, it was important to add this depth. And what we know about Luke is that he's a very reliable person. He's a guy that does a lot of things well. He's got playoff experience and high character kid. So kind of checked all the boxes for us. And, we really think that he's going to not only help us get through this tough time with some of our D out, but make for a real competitive situation that I think you'd really want going in to a playoff stretch that we're hoping is a long one.
Speaking of wanting a playoff stretch, that's going to be a long one. You kind of made a move a couple of weeks ago that we haven't really had the chance to discuss, you and I yet, but basically signaled kind of almost a win now move with bringing in Josh Bloom and Braden Hislop. Take us through how that deal came together, and you guys are becoming big players on the trade market. I mean, if you weren't already.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would say that coming out of last season, we really felt like we had an opportunity this year to do something special. And we had a lot of returning players, a lot of guys that got that taste of a conference final and now coming back bigger, stronger. So, immediately you start thinking about the names. And I know Ryan, when he was at the World Junior Camp, Josh Bloom was the name that he came back with as a guy that was very important to the program out there, and then a guy that he thought would fit really well in our system. And, just through watching Saginaw and scouting some of their players and knowing kind of the direction that they may be taking over the next couple of years, Braden Hislop was a guy that, I'll be totally honest, I didn't know as much about last year, but what an important piece of that trade for us. He kind of does everything. He's mean, he skates well, he moves the puck well, great person in the room. So just a really solid addition that, it just goes to show in our league, guys can kind of have their time in the sun at any moment. And he's a guy that I think is going to be a really important piece for us down the stretch too.
When you're evaluating guys and scouting guys, I know you talk about a lot about, great character guys and all that stuff. How tough is it to kind of figure out if somebody's going to mesh well with your room or something like that?
I think it's why it's so important to kind of go through a thorough process in the OHL draft year. You got books on players. You also, reach out to your contacts. I mean, without really rocking the boat, you want to kind of ask if there's guys that have coached them in the past. And I think it's something that, you don't necessarily do when a trade's happening. You do constantly when you're in conversation. Oh, how's that guy? It's something that you're always doing as a person that's in hockey. It's a smaller world than you think, and names come and go, and they come back around again more often than you know. So I think, first it's being thorough in the OHL draft. I think it gives you a good solid base. But for us, character has been so important. So it's important for us that before we move on anything, it's a big piece that needs to be there.
And that was GM Adam Dennis of the North Bay Battalion. He sits down with Courtney Kenny on the recent episode of the Frontline podcast. You can give the full episode a listen anywhere you download your podcast or watch the live telecast, the video on the Frontline YouTube channel. Adam Dennis there talking about the most two recent trades. Not only Bruskowski, but also seeing Bloom and Hislop coming into town for the North Bay Battalion and how that has really improved the depth of the North Bay Battalion. Let's bring back in Lyndon Hokamp. That first period, 12 seconds to see the Teddy Bears fly. Were you even expecting that?
I don't think anybody in the building was. That was, like Matt said, that's going to be close to a record for one of the fastest goals to start a game. And, not to say anything, but I did mention 30 seconds a minute in the pregame show. So 12 seconds was all they needed.
Yeah, and when you dissect it, it's almost like the teams really had an extended opening ceremony, so nothing really changed momentum-wise. The fans weren't really into the game yet. Not everyone was in their seats, so I'm not even sure if all the Teddy Bears made it to the ice. I see one right up here in the rafters, didn't even make it as it got stuck up in the rafters. But really, and then how quick they got those Teddy Bears off the ice, that was such an accomplishment.
Yeah, Matt and I said during the show, too, it was good to see the community get involved. You see the minor hockey players come in. It's always good to see people.
Let's bring in Ben Long. He's got something exciting to tell us.
So, last night on the podcast, if you watched it today, although my official choice was Wakely, so I didn't get it right, I actually said Romani first. I said, it's going to be Romani. And then I thought, no, Wakely always scores those big goals at the big moments. So I went with him. So I was wrong, but my first instinct was right.
And we'll cut you off at that. Nope, sorry. I checked the pool board. You had Wakely, so nobody who's going to win that. But let's talk about the play of Charlie Robertson, picking up right from where we last saw him when the Ottawa 67s were in town here taking on the Battalion.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the pregame too, that he needed a few good saves early on to gain that confidence back and to be ready to play in this game. And we saw that. He made a couple of big saves, a couple of scrambles in front, but a couple of breakaway saves that he just neatly caught in his chest, and it looked good from him. A couple of big rebounds, but you can't expect perfection, right?
No, and he put those rebounds in less dangerous areas, and he was able to recover after those saves. Things are starting to heat up. We saw at the end of the period a couple feisty conversations. I got the sense of it heating up between the benches. This game is not over, and I think it's going to be in for a good final 2 periods.
Yeah, it's especially for the North Bay Battalion, you get the kind of calls they got, unfortunately, against them. The slashing call on Wakely being the big one, and you need some physicality. You need to bring some energy and bring the crowd into it a little bit to try to fight back against that. And so we'll see what the rest of this game has in store.
And we still have yet to even talk about head coaches John Dean and Ryan Houlihan being former assistant coaches on this North Bay Battalion team. That's for another day, but right now we're set to get back for our second period of play. When we return, the Matt Sukram will be back as the Greyhounds trail the North Bay Battalion by a score of 1-0 here after 1 period of play.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Welcome back inside Memorial Gardens. I'm Lyndon Hokamp. I'm joined by Matt Sukram as we get underway here in the second period.
It's the Battalion up 1-0. And icing called right away. So Lyndon, nothing got awarded penalty-wise on either side after that little scrum at the end of the first period. I'm sure the Battalion would have liked to see something called out of that.
Yeah, the little festivities there at the end of the period. You mentioned that no penalties assessed, so thus continues, I guess, for the North Bay Battalion, back with finally getting a chance at 5-on-5 here.
Shot into the North Bay zone off the draw. It's Lukin in the far side corner, plays it around behind the net to Christopoulos. He feeds it ahead to Arnsby. Arnsby passes it out of the zone, but it's Kluche who has it for the Greyhounds. He plays it back to Toms, and Toms sends it down the left wing side. Trying to break up the play is Christopoulos, getting in the way of Savard. Savard then switches spots with Toms, and Toms carries it into the zone. His blind pass behind the back is blocked by Van Steensel, but then Van Steensel just whiffed at it, and it went right towards Robertson. And Robertson now leaves it behind the net where the Battalion lose control of it. They get control back. They try to get it out of the zone. It's turned over. The Greyhounds trying to play it to the middle of the zone. It's caught up in some skates, and the Battalion find it, and they clear it with Wakely getting it up ahead to Romani. Down the right wing side, Romani tries to play it back to the blue line. It's knocked away by the Greyhounds. They dump it down the ice, and that will be icing called. 18:52 to go in the second period. North Bay ahead, 1-0.
Yeah, not seeing the North Bay we're used to quite yet in this game. Finally, now getting a face-off in the Sioux Greyhounds zone here, and hopefully they'll be able to set something up. Petrov, Wakely, Tarasevic out there for them, along with Nelson. So the big guns ready to go for the Battalion early in the second here.
And off the draw, they win it back to Nelson. Nelson takes a shot, and it just got blocked off the skate of, I believe it was Watson, set up right in front of him. And then it went wide of the net and deep into the zone, and then cleared away by the Greyhounds. The Greyhounds bring the puck back forward. Coming down is McConnell Barker. His shot gets blocked off the stick of Hislop and into the far side corner. Hislop lost it. It's behind the net, controlled by the Greyhounds. They play it right in front, and there's a stop made by Robertson. A lot of miscommunication on that play by members on both sides of the ice, as the Greyhounds didn't realize they would have had two guys wide open in front of the net, but they couldn't complete the pass. And now off that, the Battalion are able to dump the puck down the ice and into the Greyhound zone. Going hard in the boards inadvertently was Kudratsev, but he's able to get up and get the puck out of the zone. Bertowski, the newcomer for the Battalion, plays it back ahead. Coming down the right wing side is Kennedy. He plays it up the middle for Ertl. Ertl to the right side of Bloom, walking in. The shot goes off the side of the net. Bloom gets it back, looks to center it, gets past everybody's stick, and the Greyhounds they're not able to clear. Jackson stops at the line, feeds it into the slot for Bloom. Bloom trying to get away from the defender. He plays it to the line to Kennedy. Kennedy's shot comes in. That's off a skate in front of the net and into the far side corner. Jackson knocks down his man. Ertl finds the puck in that area. He centers it to Jackson, and the shot is blocked off the body of Ivanov. The puck goes to the far side boards. The Greyhounds able to get it out of the zone. Coming down the middle is Montroy. He sends it into the far side, and the puck ricochets. It goes all the way out of the zone, down the ice. A guy coming on the ice collided with Bertowski in the neutral zone while a sixth guy was still on there, and nothing got called. So you could have had too many men, you could have had interference, and then neither of those things get called against the Greyhounds there. 16:50 to go in the second period. 1-0, North Bay maintain that lead. As the Greyhounds pick up the puck in their own zone. It's Brown coming down the left wing side. He gets stopped at the blue line. Shot right back up to the Greyhounds blue line. Played back up ahead to Montroy. He's trying to shovel that puck past Christopoulos, who blocks it. And Christopoulos is able to get it up ahead to Podolou, who's coming down. Podolou gets stopped, goes into the corner. Now he plays it back down the point. The puck goes past the stick of Christopoulos, and it's sent down into the North Bay zone. The Battalion can't clear. Brown stops it at the blue line. The shot comes in, and the save is made by Robertson. It goes into the near side corner. Lukin gets run into by, I believe that was Klettenberg, and then both players fall down on top of the puck. They get up. The puck goes in behind the net. Klettenberg still holding Lukin in the area. The puck comes around the near side boards and clears the zone. 15:45 to go in the second period. As the Greyhounds look to try to get on the board, they're down 1-0 as they send the puck down the ice. Icing waved off as it's picked up behind the net by Duarte. Duarte tries to center it. That's blocked off a stick, and it goes to the far side boards. Van Steensel trying to whack away at it. He gets stopped. Knocked down is Cloutier of the Greyhounds, and that allows the puck to come out of the zone. Chased down into the Greyhounds end by Thompson. Ryan Thompson sends it forward. And into the North Bay zone go the Greyhounds, but they're stopped by Romani quickly with a nice stick check, and he gets it up to the blue line and dumped into the Greyhound zone now. A lot of just dumping being had here by the Battalion, and they're not able to sustain a lot of offensive zone pressure. The Battalion forced the turnover. Here comes Bloom down the ice. To the right side, Jackson. Back to the left side, Bloom. In front of the net to Erdl. He scores! Tic-tac-toe, and away you go as Erdl makes it 2-0.
What a goal for the North Bay Battalion. That's some highlight reel stuff as Bloom carries the puck down, dumps it off, gets it back, and goes back across the front of the net to Erdl, who, I don't know where Ivanov went, but Erdl had the entire net to shoot at. So North Bay finally, after a very solid earlier part of the period, getting 3 or 4 good chances in a row, able to capitalize on one here to take a 2-0 lead.
Justin Erdl will have his first goal since the November 25th game against the Hamilton Bulldogs, but he's been racking up points and he's been racking up a lot of points over the last couple of games. And we'll go down to Derek, and Derek, Justin Erdl has just continued proving to be one of those guys that the Battalion rely on for that depth scoring.
Exactly. He's getting so comfortable playing in this OHL level, making the jump from the NCAA, and he's just gelling along with his new line mates of Josh Bloom and Kyle Jackson. That passing play was unreal, and Erdl, if he misses that, there's something to say.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like you said, Lyndon, the goaltender Ivanov pulled way out of position. Play back underway. It's Erdl again. Drops it to the blue line. Lukin coming in, and his shot is blocked in front of the net. The puck goes to the far side boards. Now comes to the line. Creeping in is Christopoulos. The shot. Save made by Ivanov. But then a big rebound was left in the slot, but cleared away by the Sioux Greyhounds. Erdl now has 6 points in his last 6 games. 2 of those are goals, including the one here tonight. Wakely picks up the puck in the North Bay zone. He finds Petrov over the blue line. Trying to pass it to the far side. It gets blocked and it comes out of the zone. Getting it back quickly is Nelson in the neutral zone, but he couldn't find it. He got caught between his skates, and that allows Montroy to find the loose puck. He comes down the ice and shoots it high. Play back around the end boards. To the near side, it's Carlisle. Carlisle flips it back in behind the net. The puck comes to the right side. It's McConnell Barker there. McConnell Barker trying to move to the middle of the zone. Knocked away from his stick, and North Bay get out of the area. It is carried down by Tarasevich down the right wing side. Stotts below the circle and then plays it back to line to Nelson. Across to the left side to look like Turley there, and Turley's shot just goes wide of the net. The puck gets shot out of the zone by the Greyhounds. Right back in. Petrov on the far side boards. Flips it in behind the net. Into the corner and whipped around the near side. That is picked up by the Greyhounds, and they clear it to the neutral zone. 12:50 to play in the second period. North Bay have a 2-0 lead, as they will now look to get it out of their own end. It's in the far side corner. North Bay find the puck out of that area, and they get up to Tarasevich. Tarasevich is able to dump it down the ice, and that line will change for North Bay. So Toms will pick it up for the Greyhounds. He heads down the right wing side, over the center ice line and dumping it in. Robertson, the goaltender for the Battalion, plays it to the far side boards. The Battalion had control of it. They couldn't clear. Sent back to the far side, still trying to get it out. Knocked off a couple of skates, and they finally will skate it out as Bertowski gets by his former teammates. He finds Precision coming in, and he fires it wide of the net, and that ricocheted off the boards, and it comes right back out to the neutral zone. North Bay turn around and go back in quickly. Hard hit thrown along the end boards. The puck kicked around. It goes to the far side. Picked up by the Greyhounds. And they are able to get it out of the zone. They try to dump it in. And it'll slowly make its way towards the end boards. Picked up there by Christopoulos. He looks for a stretch pass down the ice for Van Steensel. It's off his stick, off the body of the goaltender, Ivanov. And then Van Steensel did get a little piece of a shot off. But Ivanov held strong. Van Steensel is muscled to the ice by Thompson. And finally, the official's arm goes up. They're going to call it interference against the former North Bay defender in Ryan Thompson, and the Battalion will get their first power play of the game.
Yeah, the crowd giving it to the officials there after what we saw in the first period, and as Van Sietsel was just muscled to the ice, Thompson just grabbed him in the corner and almost threw him down. So that's a pretty clear penalty there, and we'll see the North Bay Battalion and their number 11th ranked power play, currently going at 21%. Take on the OHL's 8th ranked penalty kill, going the Sioux Greyhounds.
The Greyhounds are able to clear it right off the draw. And it is Petrov moving it back into the Greyhound zone. Across the left side, he finds Nelson. Back down to Jackson. Up high to Petrov. Petrov to the left side and Nelson in the circle. Nelson's shot gets blocked. Two Greyhounds going towards it, but Petrov quickly is able to flip it back into the zone. It never cleared the area, just stopped at the blue line, and it's Petrov who has it again. At the line, he goes to the left side circle, flips it across, it's just out of the reach of Jackson, who can't play it off the boards. That is picked up by the Greyhounds, and they will clear the zone. Coming down the left wing side, Duar right towards the net, and then he's pushed back to the outside before he could get a shot off. Almost a minute gone already in this power play for the North Bay Battalion. Nelson sends it down the right wing side for Erdl, who dumps it in. North Bay ahead 2-0. We are approaching the halfway mark of the period as the Battalion see more time tick off their power play, their first of the game. They finally get it in the zone as Arnsby brings it in. Sets it up to the middle. Romani was right there, but he couldn't handle the pass. But Wakely picks up the loose puck, sends it back to the line to Romani. Romani sends it back down towards the end boards. It goes around to the far side to Wakely on the half boards. Wakely looking for some support there as he's hounded by two Greyhounds. Couple of stick checks in the area. Arnsby has it. Back to Wakely. To the line to Christopoulos. Back to the left side to Wakely. Comes in. His shot goes off the post. And now it's back to the point. Christopoulos to Wakely, sends it to the middle. It's off the stick of Tarasevich and in the corner. Poke check made. Arnsby gets it, flips it around on the far side to Wakely. Wakely hustles there, gets it across to the right side to Romani. Romani trying to come in towards the area. He gets knocked down and pass across the far side. Arnsby gets knocked down, and off that hit, the Greyhounds are going back to the box. So time had just expired on the Thompson penalty, and now it is Kostov going to the box. And I believe we are going to get our in-period break right there. Yes, we are. 2-0 North Bay. We'll be right back.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
As we come back from our in-period break there, the North Bay Battalion, coming off a power play, are going back onto the power play for their second of the night, leading this game 2-0 over the Sioux Greyhounds. And on the power play there, North Bay getting a couple of good chances and really being able to move that puck around well.
They got some early chances for their top unit, and then their secondary unit generated some good zone time as well towards the back end of the power play. And I think it's interesting that that call was made. It looked like almost a harmless hit on the far side boards. But Alex Kostov is in the box, and we'll see if North Bay can take advantage this time around.
Yeah, I thought the hit came a little late as Wakely moved the puck around, but North Bay maybe getting one back from the first period here.
That's it, exactly. And so it's the top unit out there. Petrov with the puck. Sends it across right in the slot. And that deflected off the stick of, I believe, Erdl, and then right into the body of Ivanov and cleared out of that scoring area. 9 minutes to play in the second period. North Bay ahead 2-0, and they've really come on strong in the latter stages. Back in the zone, the shot coming in from Erdl on the left wing is stopped by Ivanov. The puck goes to the near side of the zone, and the Greyhounds send it down the ice. Chasing it down the ice is McConnell Barker, and he gets to the puck and tries to play from a sharp angle, but it's flipped off the stick of Robertson, the goaltender, and out of play. 1:19 to go in the penalty to Kostov, and 8 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the second period. North Bay ahead 2-0.
Yeah, an interesting little move by McConnell Barker there, hustling down to that puck, and it looked like he just tried to lift it over the shoulder of Robertson on that sharp angle, and it goes up into the netting.
Despite the scoring chances on both ends, it's been a low shots on goal period, as just 3 for the Battalion and now 4 for the Greyhounds in this period. 13-11 overall. Sorry, I had those backwards. There's a shot coming in, and a save made by Ivanov. So it's 13 for the Greyhounds overall, 12 now for the Battalion overall in the game. 3 in the period for the Greyhounds, and 5 now in the period for the North Bay Battalion. 1:01 to go in the penalty to Kostov. The Greyhounds win the defensive zone draw and are able to clear it, so a pretty good penalty kill through the first minute for the Greyhounds. The North Bay Battalion will look to take advantage now as the secondary unit is out there, and leading it down the ice is Wakely, but he can't get it over the blue line as it's knocked away and cleared by the Greyhounds. Romani again, down the right wing side for Arnsby. Arnsby carries it in, flips it right towards Ivanov. Ivanov didn't know if he was going to play it or smother it. He decides to let it go, and that allows the Battalion to gain control of it. Romani at the blue line. Christopoulos to the left side. The shot from Wakely is off a body in front of the net. The puck goes to the near side. Tarasevic with a little poke check on, I believe it was Dintino, and on that, they're going to call it hooking. And so it's going to be a premature end to the North Bay power play, as Tarasevic will go to the box, and so the Greyhounds will get a power play for a minute 50 with 7:36 to go in the second period, and North Bay up 2-0.
Yeah, very brief 4-on-4 here for just 10 seconds, but North Bay having to go on their 4th penalty kill of the night here, as the hook called down in the Sioux Greyhounds' end.
Tarasevic in the box, and he is a guy that doesn't go there very often. There's a pass down the ice. Bloom coming in on a breakaway, and Bloom is stopped point blank. What a big-time save for Ivanov, and we'll see if the Greyhounds can reward him for that one. Savard's pass at the blue line is blocked, and Bloom has a chance to go down again, but he just could not control the puck as Kudratsev is able to block him from going the other way. Man, Bloom showing off some skill there on both those attempts. So now it's a 5-on-4 for the Sioux Greyhounds, and they just can't even get the puck into the zone right now. A minute 10 remaining in the penalty to Tarasevic. 6:40 to go. North Bay ahead 2-0 as McConnell Barker brings the puck up to the blue line. He dumps it down into the North Bay zone, but very quickly it's cleared out of the area.
The Battalion's OHL #1 penalty kill here is really showing its strengths. We saw Bloom getting a couple of picks right in the neutral zone there, and not letting the Sioux Greyhounds do much on this power play.
They have 5 shorthanded goals this season. Christopoulos steals it out the line. 2-on-1 the other way. Over to Van Steezel. Slap shot right into the glove of the goaltender Ivanov. And I got to think, Lyndon, the Battalion have outchanced the Greyhounds on this penalty kill 3-0 so far.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Not too often does the penalty kill have more shots than the power play, but that's one of North Bay's strengths in the penalty kill.
We'll be looking to bring Derek in on our next whistle if it doesn't involve a penalty here with 6 minutes to go. It'll also be a timing thing as well, as Derek is going to have to hustle to get back up here for the intermission. But we'll get Derek's thoughts on the next whistle if there isn't a penalty call. It's been 3 straight penalties plus the in-period timeout that's been called. So 8 seconds to go on the penalty to Tarasevic. We're about to come back to 5-on-5. The Greyhounds have control of the puck in the offensive zone. They lose it. It's sent down the ice on the clear, and the Battalion are 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. Toms brings the puck back through the neutral zone for the Greyhounds. He dumps it in. Play to the far side. It's Hislop. for the Battalion. Flips it into the near side corner for Kennedy. Back into the far side for Hislop. Looking down the left wing side. He gets it up to the blue line. It's stopped by Gibson. And they're saying that he shot it back in offside. So Derek, with 5:14 to play, the North Bay Battalion are 4 for 4 now on the penalty kill. You got to think that is a source of pride for this team so far after having to kill 3 straight basically to start this game.
Yeah, well, you come in with the number 1 ranked penalty kill and you stay aggressive, not allowing the Sioux Greyhounds really to get set up in the zone. They're doing everything you expect a number 1 penalty kill to do, and they're doing exactly that with 4 perfect kills so far.
5 minutes to play, 2-0 is the lead for the North Bay Battalion. We thank Derek for being downstairs tonight. The Battalion coming in, 2-on-1. Wakely going in the zone. The shot just goes high, and it rings off the crossbar. And now the other way comes Montroy for the Greyhounds down the right wing side. He gets knocked off the puck, and it goes in towards the goal line. The pass comes back out in front, but Bertowski is there to clear that up for the North Bay Battalion. It's sent up ahead to Wakely. Wakely down the right wing side. Wakely towards the net. Another shot comes in, and that one's stopped by Ivanov. The rebound chance comes in just wide. Boy, Wakely, that's got to be about his 4th shot in the latter half of this period alone. The Battalion get another shot in. It's steered away by the Greyhounds, and they send it down the ice. 4:15 to play in the second period. 2-0 North Bay maintaining the lead. Nelson with a spin move to get out of the zone, and he's going down the ice. Shot comes in, and Ty Nelson just missed. Rebound chance, and that was stopped by Ivanov. Another one from the point from Bloom, and that one's gloved down by Ivanov. 2-0, the score remains, but the Battalion had a chance to make it more on that rush into the zone.
Yeah, and I was just going to comment on how well this North Bay team moves the puck between, and plays as a unit. Especially we saw it on the power play there and that Ertl goal, moving the puck between players. But they also have that, we just saw from Ty Nelson. They have the talent to have a guy just come in on a breakaway or make one good move and get a couple of quality chances out of it.
And then how about Bloom's blast from the point? They're almost switching roles, right? Nelson, the defender, going in, leading the rush, and Bloom set up at the blue line. The Battalion can't win the offensive zone draw, and so the Greyhounds are able to get it out and go down the ice with it. McConnell Barker stopped in the slot, and the Battalion just steal the puck right off his tape, and it's Jackson going the other way. Jackson going towards the net, but he fans on the shot on a 1-on-2 into the zone on the odd man rush. The puck comes out of the zone. Mignosa for the Greyhounds sends it forward. Mignosa now finds the loose puck. He takes a shot. It goes high over the glass and out of play. 3:15 to go in the second period. North Bay maintaining a 2-0 lead. Goals coming from Romani in the first period and Ertl here in the second from the Battalion.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, but the shots on goal in this game still seemingly very low at 15 apiece right now. But even though we've seen all kinds of chances at both ends.
There's a shot off the draw. Savard goes off a stick and then stays in off of the glass. Comes back to the point. Another shot comes in. That one's blocked. And the Battalion get it out ahead to Arnsby. Coming down the right wing side. Arnsby goes into the corner. Stops there. Feeds it through the slot. Picked up off the boards by Van Steensel. Van Steensel's hit hard into the boards by Thompson. And the puck just stays in that area. A lot of guys digging away at it. It comes loose. Arnsby finds it, feeds it into the slot. They get to left side. The shot goes off the helmet of the goaltender Ivanov, and the puck goes to the far side boards. Picked up there by the Greyhounds and cleared out of the zone. Kluche to the right wing side for Savard. Savard coming in, tries to center it. It's knocked away by Romani, and Romani looks down the ice and sends it right towards Ivanov from about 100 feet away, or 100 plus feet away there. As Ivanov was forced to make a save, the Greyhounds get the puck right back out of the zone. Kennedy on the steal. He comes in and dumps it into the far side corner. 2:15 to play. North Bay ahead 2-0 in the second period. The puck comes out of the corner. Savard picks it up for the Greyhounds, and he comes through the neutral zone down the right wing side. Coming in is Kluche now. He plays it in behind the net looking for Savard back there. Savard goes into the corner. He's held there by Bertowski. The puck knocked away, goes off the glass, and picked up by Petrov on the Battalion. And he leads a charge down the left wing side. Across to the right side, Precision's right there. But he could not bury that one. on a chance in between the hash marks.
Yeah, and a good chance there from the Battalion, but late in the play, Bertowski looked like he was having a little conversation with one of his former teammates, pinning him up against the boards way back in the Battalion end, and coming in late to that play. So not sure exactly what was said there, but got to be interesting when it's your former teammate you're holding up against the glass.
Yeah, I was probably just asking him if he enjoyed the drive down. There's a shot coming in. There's a kick save made by the goaltender Ivanov, playing back in behind the net. Ertl trying to center it. That gets blocked. Picked up by the Greyhounds on the near side circle, and they send it through the neutral zone. 90 seconds to go in this period. North Bay ahead 2-0. Delayed offside against the Greyhounds. They retreat, and that allows the Battalion to send it down the ice. It's touched in the neutral zone and dumped in by the Battalion. Into the far side corner. Bloom throws a hit, but it's Minosa who finds the loose puck. He tries to play it out of the zone. It's off his stick and right into the North Bay bench with 1:11 to go in period number 2. 2-0 North Bay lead.
Yeah, the guy's getting a lot of rest here with a few whistles late in this period. We've seen the Battalion really doing a lot in this second period to make up for that slightly lackluster first period, not by their own doing often, but making up for it here with a lot of good chances.
Yeah, Wakely's had a good period. Josh Bloom has had a good period, but the Sioux Greyhounds are going to probably have a better period now as they are able to get one back. McConnell Barker just took the puck down the left side and beat the goaltender Robertson on the blocker, and that allows the Greyhounds to get to within a goal. It's 2-1 with 1:02 remaining in the second period.
That's a big goal for momentum here, as North Bay had been dominating the offense in the last few minutes, and for the Sioux Greyhounds to get one back, bring this back to a one-goal game with just a minute left in the second, and bring that back to your dressing room does big things for your third period.
And here come the Greyhounds again off the draw. The shot comes in. Watson's shot is blocked. North Bay looking to pick up the loose puck on the near side. It's in the corner. That's Tarasevic. Tarasevic down the right wing. Feeds it back up ahead the middle to Wakely. Wakely coming in on the right wing side. He stops at the half boards. Looking to move it back across. Wakely sets it up. Tarasevic's shot is stopped off the body of Ivanov. Now Wakely has a chance at the near side. That shot is blocked as well. Behind the net, wraparound chance from Petrov is stopped. And Ivanov is doing everything he can to just keep the deficit at 1. And now pass out of the zone. 2-on-1. Watson to the right side. McConnell Barker's shot is stopped by the goaltender Robertson. The arm goes up from the official. The play is blown down. It's a 2-1 North Bay lead, but interference is being called coming up against Wakely. So with 17 seconds remaining in the second period, North Bay are going to be shorthanded.
Yeah, there was a Sioux Greyhound player knocked down right in front of the net there as McConnell Barker got the shot off. Almost had his second goal in as many minutes. But yeah, it looks like just in the mess of it, Wakely getting tangled up with a Sioux Greyhound player and taking that penalty.
Second time this game that Wakely is going to be in the box. He got called for hooking back at the 9:48 mark of the first period. The Battalion off the draw, clear it out of the zone. It's picked up by Kudratsev, and he dumps it in. Nelson for the Battalion fires it right back out, and that is how this period is going to come to an end. The Battalion get a goal. Justin Ertl, his 9th of the season at 5:15, and the Battalion were on cruise control right up until the last few minutes, where Bryce McConnell Barker was able to score his 16th of the season. And just like the end of the first period, we head to the locker room with the Battalion ahead by a goal. This time, it's 2-1.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Welcome back inside North Bay Memorial Gardens, where after 2 periods of play, it's the North Bay Battalion leading the Sioux Greyhounds by a score of 2-1. Let's take a look at the scoring summary in that second period. Justin Ertl with his 9th of the season at 5:15 made it a 2-0 game, with Josh Bloom and Kyle Jackson assisting on the Ertl goal. And there's just over a minute left, 18:58 of the second period. Bryce McConnell-Barker, his 16th of the season, made it 2-1. Calvin Watson with the lone assist on that goal. And it's a 2-1 lead going into the third period for the North Bay Battalion. 4 penalties in that second period, 2 for each team. First off, Ryan Thompson went off for interference at 8:30, and then at 10:34, Alex Kostoff went off for boarding. And then the North Bay Battalion got a couple penalties of their own. First off, Nikita Tarasevich for hooking at 12:24, and then at 19:42, Dallin Wakely went off for interference on the goaltender, on his own goaltender. So that's kind of a weird stat there. Penalty to take. Taking a look at specialty teams, the Sioux Greyhounds are 0 for 5 so far, but they still have a minute 43 remaining in that penalty to Wakely to start the third period. And the Battalion 0 for 2. They were unable to capitalize on any of their advantages there in the second period. Taking a look at shots on goal, the Sioux Greyhounds 8 in that second period for a total of 18. The North Bay Battalion 16 for a total of 23. Now in the face-offs, it's the Sioux Greyhounds winning 19 of the 43 draws. So they're of the 33 draws. So they're just a little bit better than 50%. And 4 other games going on now. All of them are active in the OHL on this Thursday night. Just finishing the second period in Niagara, the Kingston Frontenacs holding on to a 2-1 lead there over the Greyhounds. Meanwhile, in Peterborough, the Kitchener Rangers have a 4-1 lead over the Peterborough Petes. Identical score in Windsor as the Spitfires are leading the Ottawa 67s. That's 4-1. And again, another 4-1 score as the Barrie Colts are beating the Saginaw Spirit. That is 2 minutes into the second period of play there in Barrie. Taking a look at the NHL scores, 4 goals in the second period have the Toronto Maple Leafs up 4-0 over the LA Kings. Of note there, Mitch Marner with a goal in that game, so his streak now extended to 21 straight games with a point. 4 other games going on, 2-2. The Predators and Lightning are tied. That's late in the second period in Tampa Bay. And in Florida, the Panthers have scored to take a 1-0 lead over the Detroit Red Wings. That's just getting underway in the middle frame. In St. Louis, the Jets and Blues are still scoreless. 5:32 left in the first period. And an 8:30 start sees the Dallas Stars hosting the Ottawa Senators. The Thursday nighter in the NFL has the Las Vegas Raiders with a 7-0 lead over the LA Rams. That's midway through the first quarter. As a special appearance on the Frontline broadcast this week, they had a special co-host as Ty Nelson took over hosting duties from Courtney Kenny on the Frontline podcast, and he was joined by Dom DeVincentis, and they talked a lot more than just hockey. Let's hear a little bit of that interview now.
We do have Ty Nelson joining us, as you know now, is to run the show for this one. We figured we'd hand him the reins of episode 100 and have some fun. I thought it'd be pretty fitting too, considering he was our second ever guest back when we were 5 for chirping. So we'll turn things over now to Mr. Nelson.
It's outstanding. Thanks for having me, guys. Welcome back to the Frontline podcast, everyone. This is Kid Nelly, your co-host for one episode. This is the Get to Know Holiday Edition, starring number 31 on the ice and number 1 in my heart, Dominic DeVincentis. Let's get right to it. All right. First question. Who's your favorite defenseman?
Is this all of hockey or is it NHL?
No, it's just a trick one for you. You don't have to answer it. It's okay. I know another one.
I think the answer here would suit best if I said number 2-4 on the North Bay Battalion.
I love that. Just made my heart warm. But let's keep going. Here we go. Number 2. What is your favorite holiday and why?
Oh, Christmas by a mile.
Why?
It's the most beautiful time of the year.
There you go.
But, no, seriously, it's Christmas. Being able to spend it with the family and being able to give back to kids who are less fortunate and stuff like that. It definitely plays a role in my kind of lifestyle, where every Christmas we go to give food out and donate clothes and stuff like that, and being able to spend with the family is the best time.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Okay, now on to number 3. What is your favorite holiday treat on a cheat day? Out of any holiday, could be anything. What's your favorite holiday treat?
Favorite holiday treat?
Yeah.
You got me on this one.
It's a good one.
You're going to give me a second here to think.
I'll give you mine. My aunt, she makes this like caramel M&M chocolate. It's called Christmas Crack. Outstanding.
What's it called, sorry?
Christmas Crack. Because you have one piece and you just keep going back for more.
I mean, most of my days are cheat days, but I really love peanut butter balls. Those are my favorite.
Protein peanut
I
butter
got
balls.
mine. My favorite's my grandmother's homemade tiramisu.
Oh wow, that's
Can't go wrong with that.
You can't. No, I agree. All right, here we go. As of this moment, right now, what is your number 1 wish on your Secret Santa list?
To go win the Memorial Cup.
And that was Ty Nelson hosting the Frontline podcast as he was joined by Dom DeVincentis. And who else wouldn't want a Christmas wish than winning the Memorial Cup? I know all of us up here are hoping for the same thing this year, is that to see a long run. Courtney Kenny certainly was entertained there, as he didn't get to speak much of that during that podcast. You can go find that 100th episode on anywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even on our YouTube channel. You can watch the whole video. Now let's take a look at our players to watch, brought to you by Mike, the financial guy. Both of them so far have points on tonight's game.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike, the financial advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
Let's turn our attention first to the Sioux Greyhounds player. That was the captain, Bryce McConnell-Barker. He has the lone goal for the Sioux Greyhounds. That was his 16th on the season, cutting that North Bay lead in half. 6 shots on goal. He's a +1. And a big stat, 12. He's won 12 of his 16 draws. So he's been on the ice for almost half of the draws taken tonight for the Sioux Greyhounds. And now looking at the North Bay Battalion player. It was Kyle Jackson. He's got an assist on that goal. That was the Justin Ertl, the go-ahead goal momentarily. He's a +1, one shot, and he's even 50% in the face-off dot. So it's a pretty close game so far. Meanwhile, specialty teams haven't really proven beneficial for the Sioux Greyhounds.
No, usually you're talking about how special teams make the difference for a game and for teams, but not the case tonight. The lots of power play opportunities to go around. North Bay go for 2, and the Sioux Greyhounds 0 for on their attempts too.
I know I talked during the second period about the penalty kill. The Battalion are sitting on top of the OHL. They've killed off 86.8% of their penalties they've taken. They've taken 106 penalties, giving up only 14 goals. They're aggressive and not really allowing time and space for the opposition in that offensive zone.
No, not at all. And we saw it from one of the additions to this North Bay Battalion team in Josh Bloom, taking away a couple of pucks right at the blue line or just outside of the North Bay zone and generating himself a couple of really good breakaway shorthanded chances that unfortunately he couldn't do much with, but just to generate those chances and strike some fear into your opponent trying to come into the zone.
No, and you brought up Josh Bloom. He really started that second goal for the North Bay Battalion, getting a lot of space and starting that three-way passing play with him, Jackson, and finally Ertl finishing it off with the wide-open cage. Nothing the Sioux Greyhounds can do. Almost looked like a passing play out of something I would do on NHL 23.
I was thinking the same thing. That's out of a video game from Josh Bloom to come into the zone, dance around one guy, pass it off, get the puck back, and then flip it over a stick to Ertl, who had, I think he had 95% of the net to shoot at because Ivanov was nowhere to be seen on that one. Way out of position for Ertl to bury the goal.
Good thing for Ertl. That was his 9th of the season. He'll be in double digits before long. And it's just exciting to see how he is now finally getting into a comfort zone here with the North Bay Battalion, especially with his line mates in Bloom and Jackson.
Yeah, definitely. I mentioned that to Matt during the period that I really like the way this North Bay team plays as a team and as a unit. You see a lot of those passing plays, the give and go kind of stuff, passing to guys that aren't there yet, but you know are going to be there, is the kind of stuff you see from a team that has really good chemistry and really works well together. And you see that night in, night out from the battalion.
And you see how Charlie Robertson's gotten comfortable in the game. Not only is he getting comfortable, but when you're making those key stops, it's also allowing your team to get comfortable in front of you, knowing that you've got such a confident goalie behind you, and that's something that we were really wondering about Charlie Robertson after losing that last game 6-5 in Niagara, but he looks just like he did last time we saw him in that 5-0 win over the Ottawa 67s.
Yeah, definitely, and we've had some concerns in the past about Charlie Robertson and that confidence, like you said, and when he gets, it just shows that even as a young goaltender on this team, when he gets the chance to get comfortable, take a couple of easy saves to start off the game, or making a couple of those more difficult saves, just to make them and get the puck away cleanly, really helps your team, especially a strong defensive team like the Battalion, to tidy things up and do the work for them.
If you're the North Bay Battalion, Ryan Houlihan, what are you telling your team to come out into this third period to do?
You're trying to channel that second period. The first period was a little slow for the Battalion, and you need to bring some intensity, and you need to blow this game wide open a little bit.
Yeah, the Battalion doubled the Sioux Greyhounds in shots in that second period, 16-8. It's a 2-1 lead when we get back here as the North Bay Battalion lead the Sioux Greyhounds by a score of 2-1. We'll return with your third period action right after this break.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
And welcome back inside the North Bay Memorial Gardens. I'm Lyndon Hokamp. I'm joined by Matt Sukram as we're about to get underway here in the third period. The North Bay Battalion lead it 2-1, and we'll start this third period on the penalty kill.
Yeah, it's going to be penalty kill number 5 for the North Bay Battalion. So far, so good, though. Keeping the Greyhounds off the board 5-on-4, but the Greyhounds do have one goal courtesy of Bryce McConnell-Barker at 18:58 of the second period. That has inched them closer into this deficit. It's 2-1 as Lyndon said, and play is underway. In the neutral zone, the Battalion just fire the puck down the ice, looking to kill some time here with Wakely in the box. Duart with the puck, brings it down the right wing side, gains the attacking zone, tries a wraparound chance. The puck just slides off his stick, picked up calmly by the captain Arnsby, and sent down the ice. Under a minute to go in the penalty to Wakely, with 19 minutes to play in the game. There's a centering pass, the shot scores! Watson ties it at 2.
Yeah, Calvin Watson just walking in there, using that man advantage to be the man left alone and wiring it past Charlie Robinson to tie this game up only 55 seconds into this third period.
Again, the Sioux Greyhounds 8-10-4-4 coming into this game. That record shouldn't be something that gives you too much confidence if you're the North Bay Battalion, especially because it doesn't matter where you are in the standings. If you are continuing to play shorthanded and giving a team like that multiple opportunities, eventually they're a well-coached team that they're going to figure it out.
Yeah, you give them 5 chances on the power play. At some point, one's going to find the back of the net.
So now the Battalion need to respond. They see their 2-goal lead evaporate just 55 seconds into the third period. Behind the net, Jackson looks to center it. It just went past the stick of Bloom and cleared out to the neutral zone where the Greyhounds take over. Dentino gets knocked off the puck over the blue line, and now North Bay goes the other way. Jackson to the right side. Erdl's wide open, but he can't get the shot off. Then he tried a shot from right in tight, and it just went wide. Picked up by Bertowski. Sends it below the goal line. Now back out in front, and Erdl can't get a shot off there. Out to the neutral zone and sent down the ice. Ty Nelson chasing. Picks it up and sends it right back up to the blue line for Bloom, who deflects it into the zone. Play back to the near side corner. It's the Greyhounds in control there. They get it out of the zone, but it's picked off quickly by Petrov in the neutral zone, and he dumps it in. Thompson has it, clears it out to the neutral zone and chased down the ice. Duarte to the middle. It's up high. Nobody can corral it for the Greyhounds. And then bringing it out to the neutral zone are the Battalion. 17:30 to go in the third period. 2-2 the score. Savard coming back into the zone for the Greyhounds. He goes in behind the net. At the line, to the left side. Savard plays it in front. A couple of Greyhounds in the area, but a poke check made by Robertson to get it out. And now it's ahead to Petrov. One-on-one in the zone. Petrov's shot just goes wide. Blocker side on Ivanov. Into the far side corner. A couple of hard checks in the area. Wakely involved, trying to free the puck out of the area. The Greyhounds hamming them in the zone there. And the puck comes up to line. The shot right back in just wide. Picked up by Van Steensel. He puts it on net. That's turned aside by the Greyhounds and cleared out of the zone. McConnell Barker can't get it going forward. North Bay bring it back in. It's Van Steensel down the middle. The shot off the body of Ivanov and high. Out of play. 16:36 to go in the third period. 2-2 the score. And Linden, the Greyhounds want to get off on the right foot here. They've got a game in Oshawa tomorrow night, so heading 4 hours down the highway would be sweet with a couple of points for the Greyhounds here, who came in yesterday to North Bay.
Yeah, we mentioned that Greyhounds record in the first period, playing a lot of overtime games, so you knew they were going to play a tough game here, and playing another tight game, and it locked at 2-2 here, and unfortunately not much rest for them. Like you said, heading down to Oshawa to play the Generals tomorrow night.
And actually, the Greyhounds have to stay in Cobourg because there's a big tournament in Oshawa, and so there were no hotels available for them. So a bit of adding on to the travel bus legs on this trip for the Generals. But playback underway as the Battalion get the puck out of the zone. 16 minutes ago as they dump it in. Van Steensel chasing it. But it's the Greyhounds who take control of the puck behind the net. They're trying to clear. North Bay up high on the forecheck, though, not allowing them to get out of the zone. And the Battalion continue to try and pressure the Greyhounds off the puck deep in their own end. They play it around on the near side boards, and it's finally cleared up to the stick of McConnell Barker. But his pass attempt is blocked. It is Petrov who picks it up for North Bay, and he circles his own zone and now heads down the right wing with some speed over the blue line. Through the defense, Petrov puts it in on net, but it's a glove save by Ivanov. And that's probably the biggest save of the game for the Sioux Greyhounds netminder, as Petrov just completely penetrated the defense of the Greyhounds.
Oh my goodness, Matvei Petrov. Derek mentioned in the intermission Leafs Mitch Marner extending his point streak, and Petrov looking like Mitch Marner there, just dismantling 4 Sioux Greyhounds, I think, to walk in all on his own, and unfortunately denied by Ivanov.
Yeah, Matvei Petrov owns the longest point streak in the OHL this season, although it was snapped a couple of weeks ago. Here comes a chance for the Greyhounds. A couple of stops by Robertson right in on tight in the slot. The puck comes back up to the circle. That's Mignosa. He's knocked off the puck, and Podolou will send it to the neutral zone. He finds Precision. Precision going over the blue line, and he dumps it in. Podolou takes it in the corner. Gets it lost among his skates, and it is Mignosa who finds it, and he dumps it in. Actually, fires it right towards the goaltender Robertson from well behind the blue line. Robertson plays it out, and the Battalion get it up ahead. It's Ertl in the neutral zone. He can't hold the puck, and the Greyhounds coming back in the zone. The shot from Duarte is just high over the blocker of Robertson. Picked up on the far side boards by Savard. He carries it up to the blue line. The Battalion had a chance to clear, and they can't do it. It's shot right back into the corner in the near side. Holding it there is Cloutier. He sends it back around on the far side. Ertl trying to poke it out of the zone. Stopped by Toms of the Greyhounds. Playing it back in the corner. Now behind the net. That's Savard there for the Greyhounds. He tries to center it. Picks it up. Sends it to the middle. And cleared away. Ertl gets it out to the neutral zone to Bloom. He carries it over the blue line. Bloom to the right side. And Nelson walking in. The shot save made. Rebound chance. That one just goes wide. Nelson picks it up on the near side boards. Flips it towards the net. That's blocked in front by the Greyhounds, and they clear it. It's Duarte Coming in on the right wing side, he goes all over the blue line as the rest of the Greyhounds go offside. 13:52 to go in the third in this 2-2 contest.
Yeah, you mentioned it, deadlocked at 2-2, and you were talking earlier that the Greyhounds heading down to Oshawa. Being from the Oshawa area myself, the Silver Stick, I believe, was the tournament in Whitby last weekend, and I'm guessing a similar tournament this weekend, taking up the hotels for the Greyhounds, making it a longer road trip, probably than it needs to be. But always lots of good hockey in that area.
Yeah, they got some great facilities down in that area, and it's pretty nice and central to a lot of cities with big populations of players that are enrolled in hockey. So makes sense to play there for sure. Play back underway. 13:30 to go in this third period. 2-2 the score as the Greyhounds are bringing the puck out of the zone. It's McConnell Barker who feeds it up ahead. Try to get on the stick of Mignosa. He can't corral the puck. And the Battalion fire right back down the ice. Off the boards at below the goal line, and the Greyhounds have it. They send it forward for McConnell Barker. He carries it down the ice over the blue line. He was looking for Hookie, but he lost it in his skates, and the Battalion clear it. The Troops dump it down as Watson chases it. Watson currently with the game-tying goal. It's his second point of the game. He had an assist on the goal from McConnell Barker. But Watson gets stuck behind his net, but now he gets free. They try to stretch pass down the ice to McConnell Barker, but it's just out of his reach, and it goes all the way to Robertson, who then sends it over to Hislop into the neutral zone. It's off the stick of Van Steensel, who deflects it into the corner. And then he follows it behind the net. He's got Arnsby supporting him, and Arnsby sends the puck to the blue line to Hislop. Fires it back in behind the net for Van Steensel. Van Steensel out in front, backhanded shot is denied by Ivanov. The puck goes to the near side boards. Down the point. A couple of guys in the area. Arnsby tried to feed it to back to Van Steensel, but it's out of his reach. And now Mignosa carries it out of the zone. He gets checked. Van Steensel plays up ahead. Romani, it's just out of his reach. And it slowly trickles towards the netminder Ivanov for a stoppage in play. 12:13 to go in the third period. 2-2 the score.
Some really nice defensive work from the Battalion there. A really good poke check by one of the North Bay defensemen to turn that puck around and to almost spring Romani with the puck just inches out of his reach to a wide open chance on Ivanov.
Now here's some interesting stats. Going into the third period, the Battalion had the lead. They are 14-0 when they lead after the second period so far this season. And again, they've got an overall record of 18-8-0. And here come the Greyhounds towards the net. Bouncing puck gets in under Robertson. He could not control it. And just like that, the Greyhounds erase a 2-goal deficit and take a 1-goal lead. It's 3-2. The goal looks like it's going to Duarte.
Yeah, a bit of an unlucky one from the North Bay Battalion, just getting a bounce off a skate, and the Greyhounds able to bury it to take a 3-2 lead in this game. Just as you were talking about the Battalion having a perfect record when leading going into 2.
Well, records are fleeting, as they say. And the North Bay Battalion 14-0 record when leading after the second period is in jeopardy now, as they will have to play comeback for the first time in this game. They led 12 seconds into the game, and then they had a 2-0 lead after the first 5 minutes of the second period, but it's been the Greyhounds who have answered back with 3 straight. So now the Battalion steal the puck up the line. Bloom going the other way. Josh Bloom on the left wing side. Feeds it to the middle, and Jackson could not get the shot off as the puck went right to the stick of Toms. We'll get Derek in on the broadcast after our next whistle to comment on the Battalion giving up that lead. But here comes Hislop now. Down the left wing side. To the middle, it's Bloom. Back to Hislop. Back to the middle, and again they can't complete the pass at Jackson as the puck comes out of the zone, cleared by the Greyhounds. In the neutral zone, Erdl with it. Feeds it over to Bloom, and Bloom dumps it in towards the goaltender, Ivanov, who juggled that puck after it went off the stick of Toms, his own defender in front of the net. Just an innocent little flip towards the net, and it almost caught the Greyhounds goaltender off guard. But the Greyhounds don't let it catch them off guard as they bring the puck right back down into the North Bay zone. They get a chance on net, but that's steered away. And now it's the Battalion going back the other way. Petrov, pass over to Lukin. Lukin down the right wing side, plays it behind the net, back out in front, loose puck. And the defense of the Greyhounds steer it aside as Mignosa carries it out of the danger area and dumps it down the ice. 10:30 to play in the third period. 3-2, Sioux Greyhounds lead. Taking over the lead at the 7:57 mark of the period thanks to Duarte. And it's Duarte who has the puck now in over the blue line. His shot gets past Christopoulos. He tries to play it off the end boards. That's blocked. And the Battalion clear it down the ice. Long stretch pass trying to get it to Romani. Romani plays it off the end boards in the Greyhound zone. Romani pushed against the boards by Carlisle. Looking for some support there. There's 3 Greyhounds in the area. But Romani is able to whip the puck around the boards, but no one there at the blue line to get it for North Bay. 9:50 to go as Kennedy chases it all the way down into his own end. He gets it up ahead to Arnsby. Arnsby brings it in over the blue line. Sends it wide of the net. Picked up off the boards by Van Steensel. He plays it back in along the end boards for Arnsby. Arnsby centers it. Twisting, turning, backhanded shot. That one's denied by Ivanov. Van Steensel tries to play it again to Arnsby in the middle. He carries it to the corner. Arnsby now carries it behind the net. He's being pressured here, but he's evading a couple of good poke checks by Gibson. Now Arnsby carries it down the boards. He tries to play it behind the net. That got blocked by the Greyhounds and cleared out of the zone. 9:15 to play. 3-2 Greyhounds lead. Arnsby gets it up ahead to Van Steensel. Van Steensel over the blue line gets the puck knocked off his stick, and it's sent down the ice. Hislop chasing, and he clears for North Bay. A couple of Greyhounds in the area right of the boards. They try to dump it in, blocked by Hislop just behind the blue line, and he sends it up ahead to Bloom at the Greyhounds blue line. Bloom carries it in, going down the left wing boards. He lost control of it, and it's McConnell Barker carrying it the other way. He lost it at the North Bay blue line, and the Battalion get it up ahead to Jackson. Jackson centers it. Nelson was coming down the middle, but a couple of Greyhounds picked him out quickly and didn't allow him to get control of the puck, and that allows the Greyhounds to get it out of the zone. 8:25 to play in the third period. The time is really ticking now as it's 3-2 for the Greyhounds. Erdl over the blue line, tries to find Bloom. He can't connect on a pass with him, and the Greyhounds go the other way. It's Toms coming in the zone. Toms on the left side, takes a shot, goes wide. Ricochet is off the glass and out of the zone as Thompson corrals it. Plays it across to the far side. Up ahead to Mignosa coming in the zone. Mignosa gets around a hit from Nelson, but Nelson finds the loose puck. Nelson is going to skate out down the left wing with it with under 8 minutes to play in the period. He dumps it in, and it's Ivanov who plays it to the near side. Ivanov gets it to Mignosa, and Mignosa clears the zone, but his pass out to the neutral zone is blocked by Petrov. Petrov now struggling to move the puck, and it's knocked off his stick and dumped in the North Bay zone. Bertowski with it for the Battalion. He sends it down the ice. It's deflected by Tarasevich into the zone and played behind the net by the Greyhounds netminder Ivanov. He sends it to the near side boards, and it's dumped down the ice with 7:20 to play. Greyhounds maintaining this 3-2 lead as North Bay bring it back in the zone. Tarasevich up the middle, trying to find Petrov. Knocked off his stick, and the Greyhounds clear it back out. Duarte down the right wing side over the blue line. Duarte going in behind the net, looks to wrap around. Robertson jumps all over it, and he'll hold on to it for a stoppage and play. 3-2 Greyhounds lead. We'll be right back.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the Alumni Job Portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
Welcome back. North Bay had 3-2. Derek, very uncharacteristic of the Battalion to build a 2-0 lead and lose that lead, not just in the game, but especially in the third period, where they have been absolutely dominant this season.
Exactly, and it didn't help to start that third period on the penalty kill. You're giving a team such as the Sioux Greyhounds, that was their 5th opportunity. That goal just got them going, and they've just been building off of the momentum. And it's just like the North Bay Battalion have kind of sat back a little bit. That last goal caught them a little flat-footed, not just the defense, but also the goaltender. And it's just, there hasn't been anything able to get this crowd into the game here in this third period. The North Bay Battalion have to find a way to get their momentum back, either through a big hit or some good passing. The crowd has gone to sleep here tonight.
Yeah, well, they already got rid of their teddy bears early on, so a lot of people that thought, I'm going to go to the game to throw something on the ice, that was over and done with within the first 12 seconds of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned, I think that's so important what Derek said about the momentum here. That first Sioux goal coming late in the second period, and then to be able to come out firing in the third and just take control of this game.
The Battalion move the puck down the ice off the draw. Lukin fires it just wide of the net and picks up his own rebound on the near side boards. Couple of guys digging away at the puck with under 7 minutes to play now. Still on those near side boards. It comes loose and is picked up on the far side by Carlisle. Carlisle for the Greyhounds clears it down the ice. Duarte is able to deflect the puck into the North Bay zone, and he goes towards the end boards, tries to center it for Savard. Bouncing puck and cleared back up to the line. It's Carlisle who keeps it in the zone for the Greyhounds. Flips it around to the near side boards. It's Toms who has it for the Greyhounds. He clears it back, or dumps it back into the zone. That line will change for the Greyhounds. They retreat out of the area, and that allows North Bay to get the puck out of the zone. Wakely on the carry, and he dumps it right in. 6:15 to go in the third period. Greyhounds up 3-2. McConnell Barker with control of the puck. He gets it up to the North Bay blue line and dumps it in, and it's played behind the net by Nelson, but Nelson's clearing attempt is stopped, and there's a shot from the Greyhounds, but it's stopped by Robertson. Rebound deflected into the far side corner. Nelson is over there trying to kick it out of the area. The puck comes loose in front of the net, but Bloom picks it up for North Bay, and Bloom will carry it out. Josh Bloom still holding it, carries it over the blue lines, drops it to Erdl. Erdl to Bloom. Bloom centering for Jackson, but he just could not get a piece of the puck. That's got to be about the third or fourth time that line has tried that play, and Jackson has just missed every time, whether it's a stick in the way or his shot goes off a skate. He just has been snake bitten on those setups from Bloom and Erdl. 5:30 to play now in this third period. North Bay down 3-2, out shooting the Greyhounds 30-25, but they dump the puck back in the Greyhound zone. It's in the near side corner. Back behind the net, it's Erdl controlling it for the Battalion. Erdl plays it off the side of the net on that sharp angled shot, picked up by the Greyhounds and cleared to the neutral zone. Battalion trying to press forward. They lost the puck. Dentino with it, trying to go in, but the shot is blocked. Good stop there by the newcomer Bertowski for the Battalion to block his former teammate's shot there. Now it is Precision going the other way. He gets hit hard on the left side boards by Thompson as the puck moves into the Greyhound zone, and it's behind the net, and a couple of guys holding it back there. The puck comes loose, and the Greyhounds clear it out of the area. Kluche on the carry. To the left side in the zone, it's Savard. Savard trying to center it. Goes off his stick and then redirected at Robertson, and he gloves it down for a stoppage of play. 4:28 to go in the third. The Greyhounds up 3-2.
Yeah, going back to that play from Erdl, Bloom, and Jackson, it shows you how well those guys work together as a unit, and that chemistry they have on that line. We saw the second goal for the Battalion coming off that line in their tricky passing play, and you mentioned they tried it again a couple of times, and Jackson just not quite able to get that stick on it and get a good chance off.
The North Bay Battalion, it's been rare that they've been trailing at home. They are 6-2 in their home games. It's still crazy that this is only their 9th home game of the season, and we are into the month of December here. But the 2 home games they lost, the 4-3 to Kitchener, and the 4-2 to Ottawa back on October 20th. So, yeah, it has been a rare occurrence for the Battalion to be down here at home, but that's where we are right now. And remember, they're coming off having won their last 2 home games. They beat Ottawa 5-0 back on November 24th, and then they beat Kingston back on November 17th.
Yeah, almost a month ago.
Yeah.
That's a long time between, well, they had the one game against Ottawa, but there's a long time ago between games at home.
Tarasevic with control of the puck in the offensive zone. Sends it to the point. The shot from Nelson comes in. It goes off the glass and out of play. 3:49 remaining in the third. The Greyhounds holding on to this 3-2 lead. 2 of their goals coming here in the third. 55 seconds in. Watson on the power play is 13th. And 7:56 in Duarte, his 11th of the season.
North Bay trying to generate something here as time is slowly ticking away from them in the offensive zone.
North Bay win the draw. Wakely gets it, and he sends it just high. What a shot from Wakely in the middle of the circle. Behind the net, digging away at it. It goes down the far side boards. That's Wakely who gets it back to the line for his lob. Across the left side, one-time shot from Petrov. It's just wide of the net. Nelson picks it up at the blue line, feeds it down low to Wakely. Wakely looks to center it for Petrov, but he just missed it and couldn't kick it over to his stick, and that allows the Greyhounds to get it out of the zone all the way down into the North Bay end. Robertson plays it right to the stick of the Greyhound player Watson, and then he fired it off the side of the net. I think Robertson was just trying to move the puck along and get it down the ice, but that was a dangerous little play there by the North Bay netminder. 3 minutes to go. 3-2 lead in the third for the Greyhounds. The Battalion trying to move the puck back down the ice. In the neutral zone, it's Lucan who has it. Lucan down the right side boards. Gets pushed off the puck, but it's Ertl who finds it, and Ertl dumps it in down the right wing side. Ertl in the corner, tried to center it. Blocked off a skate and cleared out of the zone by the Greyhounds. Lucan dropping back, tries to feed it forward. Tried to get up ahead to Ertl, but couldn't complete the pass there. And the Greyhounds will move it back the other way. Ertl coming back down the right wing side. In over the blue line, drops it back to Jackson. Jackson to the middle, takes the shot. And the save is made by the netminder Ivanov with 2:07 to go in the third period. 3-2 is the lead for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, crunch time for the Battalion here, and unfortunately, as we just saw a little bit of the nerves of a young goaltender of Charlie Robertson there. Looks like Battalion presumably here calling a timeout, but we saw Robertson, just those little things that you get from a young goaltender, dropping the puck off almost right onto the stick of a Sioux Greyhound. Just not as confident, not as calm when he gets a chance with the puck like that.
And Robertson, I mean, to his credit, he has battled throughout this season. I mean, there was a period about 2 weeks ago where all of a sudden he had to be the number one guy because Dom DiVincentis was injured, and you don't know how long he's going to be injured for. And Robertson comes out and absolutely stonewalls the Ottawa 67s for a big shutout victory. And then he got the start in the Kingston game. Check that, in the Sudbury game, which the North Bay Battalion won 7-4. So, I mean, Robertson has certainly had his moments this season, and at this point, he is into his 11th career OHL game with a 5-3 record going into this one. But right now, he's on the bench as the Battalion decided to take the timeout and take the opportunity to pull the netminder with the face-off coming up inside the offensive zone. And the Battalion win the draw into the corner, but very quickly it bounces out of the corner and it's cleared down the ice all the way towards the empty net, and it's just wide, and icing will be called here against the Sioux Greyhounds with 1:59 to go.
An interesting choice from the Greyhounds player. I missed who it was. But just like from just above the face-off circles, taking a shot at the open cage. And if you miss, this is what you get, a 6-on-5 face-off in your own end again.
The Battalion can't control the zone off the draw, and it's Nelson who has to chase it all the way back. He feeds it ahead to Jackson. Across to the left side, Bloomshaw comes in, sends it in the near side corner. Ertl trying to play it in front to Jackson, who plays it to the right side, boards to Nelson. Across the left side, Petrov, one-time shot, scores!
Just like that, it's a tie game. Petrov just, like, I know I compared him to Mitch Marner earlier. That was a Steven Stamkos shot just from the face-off circle. Stick in the air, one-times it, and just blows by everybody into the Greyhounds net. And we were talking about the Greyhounds experience in overtime. minute and 40 seconds is a lot of time to play still. A lot can happen, but might we see another?
Yeah, like we said, just to reiterate, the Sioux Greyhounds have played 9 of their 26 games in overtime, and they are 1-8 in those games. 4 overtime losses, 4 shootout losses, 1 overtime win. And, man, this is, I mean, John Dean's a, pretty young guy, but his hair might be turning gray pretty quickly if the season continues to go this way. He's the John Dean, the head coach of the Sioux Greyhounds, former assistant coach here of the North Bay Battalion. Always great to see John back in in Memorial Gardens, but right now, obviously, not too pleased after having lost that 3-2 lead. And now here come the Greyhounds. Kluche sends it right off the near side post. Oh my goodness. They were that close to regaining the lead. A minute 20 to go. 3-3 the score in the third, as Petrov has just recently tied it. Playback underway. On the near side. Into the corner in the Greyhound zone. Down to the point, Lukin. Feeds it up to the middle of Van Steensel. Van Steensel carries it behind the net to Tarasevich. Back to the near side of Van Steensel, still behind the net. He carries it to the far side corner. Sends it to the point to Christopoulos. Christopoulos fires it in. Save made by Avanov. Big rebound to the middle of the zone, but carried out by the Greyhounds. 35 seconds to go. North Bay forced the turnover. Here comes Tarasevich in the zone. His shot just wide on the right side. Play back into the corner. The puck bouncing around. It comes out to the near side boards. Play back to the far side. To the point. Up ahead, Duarte carrying it in for the Greyhounds. Drops it back to Watson. His shot stopped. Rebound chance right in front of the net. That one's denied as well. Nelson with 10 seconds. Sends it down the right wing for Erdl. Erdl coming down over the blue line. Flips it towards the net. Ivanov will hold on to it for a stoppage in play. 4.3 seconds to go. 3-3 the score in the third.
And in that last little sequence there, chances at both ends. But for the home crowd here, we finally hear the North Bay faithful getting involved in this game after what's given them not much to cheer for since that opening sequence that put the Battalion up 1-0.
Matvei Petrov gets his 12th goal of the season. That is his 5th point in his last 4 games. North Bay win the draw. The shot coming in from Petrov off the circle is deflected off his stick, and it goes high. 0.3 seconds remaining in the third in a 3-3 tie game.
Yeah, they're going to add some more time to that, as I think the clock ran a little bit long after it went out of play. So the North Bay doing well there to win the draw and get the quick shot off, but they'll have another opportunity at it with minimal time, but definitely more than 0.3 seconds.
We had a Voodoo's game a couple of weeks ago where it was tied and there was about 3 seconds left on the clock. So the team that had the offensive zone pulled their goaltender to get a 6th guy out there. Even if it was tied, it's like if the other team wins the faceoff and just fires it down the ice with no goaltender and you lose the game, but what are the odds that the puck's going to make it all the way down the other end, right? So
you're counting on time running out before it gets down there, right?
Yeah.
But the officials having some discussion here about how much time to add back on. But if you're Ryan Houlihan, this is good to see from your North Bay team to lose that lead with only, I forget the timing on the goal there, but with about half of the third period left.
Yeah.
And you're to come back and fight literally into the last 2 minutes to score that tying goal.
Absolutely.
And still with hockey to play, like overtime and who knows what after.
And it's been a goal. Each of the top 3 lines has scored a goal in tonight's game. Romani on the second line opens the scoring. Erdl on the first line makes it 2-0, and then Petrov on the third line ties it at 3-3.
The
2
fourth
seconds on the clock now. And we'll, thought we were going to get underway, but they're double checking everything, it looks like.
2.8 seconds. The Sioux Greyhounds bench is not happy about that call. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a huge difference between 2.8 and 0.3. So
Definitely.
and it looks like it's Jackson to take the draw in the middle for the Battalion, but it's one into the corner by the Greyhounds, and time runs out in regulation. So the Battalion will at least get to continue that point streak. It'll be 3 straight games with a point. And the Battalion will be playing in overtime here at Memorial Gardens.
A little bit of free hockey for the almost 2,500 in attendance tonight. Well, anyone that turned out for the teddy bear toss had their fun at the beginning, and they'll get some fun at the end as we play a 5-minute overtime.
I don't think I've ever done a teddy bear toss game where they throw the teddies in over. No, because they wouldn't allow the teddies to be thrown in overtime. How it works, and
right.
I'm remembering this as I go now. There was a game in Mississauga, and the Battalion were way ahead. It was like 4-0 in the third period. And the PA guy had to come on at the beginning of the third and say, folks, at the midway point, if the Steelheads haven't scored yet, we will do the teddy bear toss at the mid-period break. And it's such a depressing announcement to have to make.
That's one of the saddest announcements you might hear.
So with 5 minutes to go, with 5 minutes remaining on the clock, in overtime now, it's 3-on-3, and we're tied at 3. And it will be Jackson, Nelson, and Petrov out there to start for the North Bay Battalion. And the Battalion win the draw. Jackson in the neutral zone will drop it back behind his own blue line to Nelson. Nelson waits for his teammates, and now they break out. Nelson leading the charge. Drops it back for Petrov, and he carries it over the blue line down the left side. Back up high to Nelson. He carries it to the circle and now feeds it to Jackson on the far side boards. Jackson across to Petrov. Petrov leaves it at the line for Jackson. He skates down the right side and drops it back for Nelson. Nelson coming in. The shot goes off the stick and over the glass and out of play off the stick of Kudratsev on that one.
Yeah, I must say I am a big fan of the 3-on-3 overtime. Since they made that change, you have more games ending in overtime, and there's a whole lot of room out there on the ice. So it's great, especially for a team as deep as the North Bay Battalion, to get 3 solid guys.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Purse.
Sorry about that technical difficulty. The play resumes. Bloom in the corner, lost it there. Duarte finds it. He gets it out to Savard. It's 1-on-1 into the zone. Savard waiting for his teammates as he stops at the blue line. Now he skates to the far side, sends it to the near side to Duarte. Duarte going into the left side circle, turns back, looking to set it up, plays it to the left side boards for Toms. Toms coming in, down behind the net. Toms down the right wing side, comes out in front. The shot is blocked, and the Battalion get the rebound, and they send it down the ice. Bloom has it, in on the breakaway to Nelson, and he cannot bury it. Bloom got it to Nelson. He tried to flip it up with a goaltender, but he threw the glove up to deny him. And now Savard the other way, sending the pass in alone, and he's denied as Duarte gets stopped by Robertson point blank. Duarte back out in front of the net, and his shot goes off the blocker of the goaltender Robertson. Duarte back out in front of the net again, takes a shot, and that one's stopped as well. 3:20 to go in the overtime period. Here come the Greyhounds again. Gibson in, takes a shot, it's off the shoulder of the goaltender Robertson and out of play. The Battalion are wondering how they didn't get a call as they broke down the ice, as one of the Greyhounds defenders basically wrapped himself around Ty Nelson.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're also concerned about the Greyhounds player diving into the corner to play the puck, laying on the ice there. to just poke the puck away from the Battalion, as it looked like the Battalion had a turnover, but set it up from the face-off again.
And now it's Arnsby, Christopoulos, and Wakely out there for the Battalion. It's Arnsby who has it in behind the net with 3 minutes to go. He feeds it to Christopoulos. Christopoulos will break out of the zone with it, coming down the left wing side over the blue line. The Battalion third-year defender plays it to the top to Wakely. Across to the right side, Arnsby. Arnsby back to Wakely at the top of the circle. Wakely down below the goal line, plays it to the left side of Arnsby. Arnsby trying to feed in front as Christopoulos was coming down, but the pass is blocked. And now the Greyhounds sends it down the ice, and the Greyhounds are looking for a call there as they felt that Arnsby interfered with their player that was going down the ice on a potential breakaway in Watson. They come back in the zone. Karatsev's shot is blocked. And now it is picked up by Jackson, who comes out of the zone. Jackson down the right wing side. Jackson gets around the defense, cuts in front of the net, but can't get the shot off at the last second. It's back to Petrov at the blue line. Petrov cuts to the right side, into the right side circle now. Carries it in below the goal line, goes behind the net, and goes to the left side boards. Carries it back up top of the zone. Feeds it to Jackson, one-timer, and he just goes high. The puck ricochets off the glass and comes out to the neutral zone. 1:50 to play in the overtime period. Nelson dragging it in, the shot. It's stopped by Ivanov, and then he smothers it for the stoppage and play. 3-3 the score in the overtime period, and both teams with chances.
What an overtime this has been so far. Still a minute 47 to play. Chances at both ends, and that's the nature of the 3-on-3s. If you get one good chance, the puck turns over, suddenly you've got a 2-on-1 the other way. And here we go again.
It is unbelievable the bounces you get on 3-on-3. The Greyhounds win the draw. Savard carrying it down the ice. Savard puts it on net. Robertson with the pad save, and now he picks it up again in front of the net. There's a chance, but the Battalion completely smothering Savard and not allowing him to get a shot off. The puck goes into the far side corner. Duarte battling with Hislop. A really good battle engaged there. Duarte is sent to the ice on the hit by Hislop, and the Battalion look to get the puck out of the zone. Petrov sends it down the right wing for Jackson. Jackson coming in, but that's a tired group out there for the Battalion, so Jackson waits for Nelson to get on the ice, and Nelson will carry it back to the neutral zone. He thought he had an outlet pass to go, but he just gives it right back to the Greyhounds, and it's Watson coming in the zone. Watson past the defense, stick handling in, and these chances denied. The Battalion get the puck up to Erdl. Erdl gets it up ahead to Bloom. Bloom coming in on the right wing side, driving to the net, and he stays out wide. Keeps the puck, trying to feed it to Nelson. That got blocked. The puck off a stick out of the zone, and Nelson tries to flip it forward. It goes off a stick and into the Greyhounds bench for a stoppage and play. 45.3 seconds remaining in the overtime period. 3-3 the score.
45 seconds is all that remains between us and a shootout, and that is what a tight game this has been. What an exciting overtime.
Face off right at center ice, and the Greyhounds win it. Kudratsev over to Savard. Savard to McConnell Barker. McConnell Barker knocked down hard by Arnsby, and that allows North Bay to get the puck out of the zone. Wakely coming down the left wing side with the numbers. He drops it back. Arnsby coming in, feeds it right in front, and Christopoulos couldn't get the shot off. Wakely gets the puck back. 20 seconds to go. He finds Arnsby. Arnsby feeds it in towards the goaltender. It's knocked away. Now Wakely with a chance, and that shot is blocked. Bouncy puck right in front of the net. It's cleared away. 10 seconds to go. Kudratsev will carry it out of the zone. Kudratsev almost lost it as Arnsby comes in on the poke check, but he gets it up to McConnell Barker. Head to Watson, the shot just as time expires. Overtime is over, and we'll head to a shootout. And what a chance there by Arnsby. And remember, it was Arnsby who got the overtime winning goal against the Barrie Colts back on October 23rd when he came down the middle, dragged it around and kicked it back to his stick and fired it in past the Barrie netminder for an absolute highlight reel goal. And he almost had another opportunity to end it there.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
As the teams are getting ready for the shootout here, they'll have the Zambonis come out quick to do the stripe up the middle of the ice. And Matt, who do you like in your shootout?
I think Petrov has got to be a guy that you go to. Josh Bloom has had some great opportunities. It's almost like you can't go wrong, right? Then you got Wakely or Jackson or Ertl. I mean, you've got, like you were saying before about just having the personnel out there 3-on-3. I mean, you also have the depth here on the shootout for guys that really can find the back of the net if you're the North Bay Battalion. However, I must say, one thing I would love to see a change in the rules of hockey right now is why not play like a 7-minute 4-on-4 and then go to a 5-minute 3-on-3. It would be a much better way to end the game than a shootout, in my opinion. But
yeah,
because after such a high of what really is a team effort in 3-on-3, it now comes down to the individual skill, right?
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, you put the individual skill on display, that's one thing. And I mentioned it earlier, the silver stick happening in my home of Whitby last weekend. My dad was able to catch a couple of games, and that's what they do there, what you were talking about, where they play a 4-on-4 overtime, and then a 3-on-3 overtime, and then I believe they play a 2-on-2 overtime, if that's still not enough. Which, I don't know what I would do if there was only 2 guys on the ice. Like,
because that would never happen.
Right. They just assume that it's not going to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you've got 12 minutes of overtime, 4-on-4, 3-on-3.
Yeah.
That somebody's going to score eventually.
Yeah, exactly. But it would never happen on the ice. You have to have at least 3 guys out there, right? Like, even if you get multiple penalties, you have to have 3 guys on the ice, right? So
yeah, I don't know exactly how that rule works. I can't say I've ever seen it go that long. But yeah, that's an interesting idea, and we'll see what they have in store in the shootout here. Looks like Petrov is first up for the Battalion.
They're still trying to get the net back in, though, on the Battalion end.
Staff of Memorial Gardens here working hard, getting it done there.
Looks like they've got it all sorted out. So it looks like it's Petrov that will shoot first. And those shots really climbed towards the end of the game, eh? 38-35 was the final in favor of the Battalion. We'll see if the Battalion can put the final in their favor after the shootout as Petrov breaks down the right side. Now to the middle between the hash marks, takes a shot. Glove save made by Ivanov. And the Battalion 0 for 1 so far in the shootout. The game ended in overtime 3-3. And now both teams just looking for that one more to get the extra point. McConnell Barker, the captain, will start the shootout for the Greyhounds. Coming down the left wing side to the hash marks. Makes a move and dangles around Robertson for the goal. Just a little cheeky shoulder check to drag Robertson to his glove side, and then he had the blocker side wide open. So it's the Greyhounds ahead, 1-0, and it's Kyle Jackson now for the troops. Down the right wing, Jackson with speed scores! Kyle Jackson ties up the shootout at 1. Jackson had 2 assists in this game. And he's just a guy that's been so solid for the Battalion all season.
Really has.
Kudratsev, the shooter now for the Sioux, makes a move, and his backhanded shot is stopped by Robertson.
That was really good by Robertson to stick with it. Kudratsev going back and forth 2 or 3 times before Robertson's able to get the glove out and make that stop, tying this shootout back up.
Josh Bloom for the Battalion to try and give them the lead. Cuts to his right side. He had Ivanov down, but his backhanded shot just trickles wide. What an opportunity there for Josh Bloom.
That was a close one. Josh Bloom's unfortunately his breakaway luck counting against him there.
And now it's Kyle Watson with a chance to win it for the Greyhounds. Down the middle, the shot stopped by Robertson. Watson tied the game 55 seconds into the third, but wasn't able to finish it there.
No, Robertson making that one look real easy, just collecting that one off his jersey.
Ty Nelson will be the shooter for the Battalion. He leads the team with 31 points coming into the game, and he'll see if he can get them another one here. The shot goes in the glove as Nelson tried to go high on the goaltender Ivanov. Nelson is actually second in points now. Kyle Jackson's 2 assists puts him at 33 points on the season now as this game will wrap up. Duarte had the game-winning goal earlier this game, and he will have the game-winning goal tonight for the Sioux Greyhounds in the shootout as Duarte finishes it. The Greyhounds beat the Battalion 4-3 and pick up a big extra point for their 9th win of the season. The Battalion lose for the first time when they have a lead going into the third period. Now 14-0-0-1 in that category, and they will drop to 6-2-0-1 on home ice, but start the weekend with yet another point. And we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Derek and Lyndon will have the post-game show. You're watching the Average Joe's Game Day broadcast right here on the Frontline Broadcast YouTube channel.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And welcome back to North Bay Memorial Gardens for the Frontline post-game show of the Average Joe's Eatery. Well, didn't end the way it was expected as the Sioux Greyhounds pick up a 4-3 victory in the shootout. Let's take a look at the scoring of the third period. as the Battalion went into the third period leading by a score of 2-1. It took only 55 seconds into that third period. Calvin Watson on the power play, his 13th of the season, tied things up at 2. Kurtavasov and Savard with the assist on that power play goal. And then the Sioux Greyhounds take their first lead of the game. Mark Durati, his 11th of the season at 7:56 of the third period. Kluche and Savard with the assist on that go-ahead goal momentarily. And then with the extra attacker out, the Battalion tied things up at the 18:23 minute mark as Matvey Petrov, his 11th of the season. Nelson and Jackson with the assist on the game-tying goal. And then it went into a shootout. It took 5 shooters before Mark Durati got the eventual game winner for the Sioux Greyhounds. Let's take a look at the shots on goal. In the third period, the Sioux Greyhounds had 10 shots, 6 shots in the overtime for a total of 35 shots throughout the game. The Battalion, 12 shots in the third period, 3 in overtime for a total of 38. Looking at specialty teams, the Greyhounds were 1 for 5 on the man advantage. Meanwhile, the Battalion were 0 for 2. Face-offs were in favor of the Sioux Greyhounds, winning 29-25 face-offs, pretty even there. 4 other games in the OHL tonight on this Thursday evening. A final now in Niagara as the Kingston Frontenacs hold on to a 3-2 victory over the Ice Dogs. In Peterborough, it was a 4-3 final for the Kitchener Rangers over the Petes. The Windsor Spitfires hold on to beat the Ottawa 67s by a 5-3 margin. And then just late in the third period in Barrie, the Colts holding on to a 4-2 lead over the Saginaw Spirit. But the story of the game again here was the shootout ending for the Sioux Greyhounds. The Battalion do pick up a point in the loss, but unfortunately that was the first loss of the season for the Battalion in the shootout. Let's take a look now at the 3 stars as brought to you by Dave's Automotive, 3 stars of service.
Tonight's 3 stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
The 3rd star for tonight's game from the North Bay Battalion, Justin Ertl. He picked up 1 goal and a +2 in the game, 2 shots on net. 2nd star from the Sioux Greyhounds was Calvin Watson, a goal and an assist. And the first star, Mark Durati, he had a goal and the eventual game winner in the shootout for the Sioux Greyhounds. Lyndon, a tough way to lose for the North Bay Battalion. That's their first loss after they've been leading after 2 periods this year.
Yeah, tough game for the North Bay Battalion. It was hard fought to the end, that's for sure. And unfortunately, the Battalion not able to pull through in the overtime or in the shootout.
Both teams had good opportunities in that shootout. The North Bay Battalion probably having their best opportunity was basically a 2-on-0 with Bloom and Ty Nelson. Nelson getting that shot off, but Ivanov getting across to get a glove on, and then a breakaway basically going the other way. Charlie Robertson equal to the task, shutting down the 5-hole there. Shootout really wasn't as expected. The goal scorers, the only goal for the North Bay Battalion in the 5 shooters was Kyle Jackson. Meanwhile, the Sioux Greyhounds picked up 2 goals. The first one was McConnell Barker, and then the second one, the eventual game winner, Durati. So, unfortunately, the North Bay Battalion are going to kick off this 3-game weekend with a loss here in the shootout.
Yeah, you mentioned the shooters. After the game we saw, that was, chances at both ends, very exciting. We did not get much of that in the shootout as McConnell Barker makes it look easy for the first one, and then the Battalion have to wait a couple of shooters for Jackson to score before, like you said, waiting till the 5th shooter for Duarte to put it away. But for the North Bay Battalion, that's, like you said, an unfortunate way to start the weekend.
Yeah, it was almost like in that third period, the Battalion kind of fell asleep, lulled even the attendance here tonight, just under 2,500 to sleep. Just nothing was really getting the fans off their feet from the North Bay Battalion down there. It just, they couldn't get anything going in the third period, and really that power play goal by the Greyhounds really sucked the air out of this building, and they were able to capitalize late in the third period to get back on even ground, but just couldn't get that next gear to find that eventual game winner.
Yeah, no, it was they definitely fought hard for it in the second half of the third period after going down 3-2. We saw the team, generating a lot of chances and really trying to find that tying goal and finding it with, just about a minute and a half left, but like you said, unable to turn it up a notch and find the winner.
Well, the North Bay Battalion will be back in action tomorrow night. They make the trip down Highway 11 to Mississauga. They'll take on the Steelheads tomorrow night, and then they'll return to action here in North Bay as the Saginaw Spirit will come into town to take on the Battalion. That's a 2 o'clock start. We'll be on air to broadcast that. That'll be starting at roughly 12:50 with the pregame show by the Frontline pregame show. Okay, 1:50, Ben. Come on. And that will be our next action here from Memorial Gardens. The Saginaw Spirit will be in town. That's going to be a little bit of a homecoming as Nick Sema and Cam Govero will be in town to face their former team along. When you look at the opposite, Josh Bloom and Braden Hislop doing the same thing. But if you can't wait till then to listen to the Frontline broadcast, you can catch us tomorrow night. We'll be down the road in Powassan as the Greater Sudbury Cubs will be in town. That's the Greater Sudbury Cubs are currently ranked in the top 10 of the Junior A standing. So an opportunity to see them down in Powassan. We'll be on air for that. That game is scheduled for a puck drop at 7 p.m. Almost at 7 a.m. But that will be our next broadcast here on the Frontline YouTube channel. We'll be tomorrow night with the Sudbury Cubs in town to take on the Powassan Voodoos. Lyndon, any final comments on this contest tonight?
No, not really. Just we'll see tomorrow as the Battalion are on the road if they can bounce back, and then we'll see them back in action Sunday afternoon.
Well, a tough loss, shootout loss here from Memorial Gardens. For our producer, Ben Long, for Matt Sukram with the play-by-play. Thanks, Lyndon Hokamp, for helping out again. I'm Derek Lindeman. So long from Memorial Gardens. Until we do this again Sunday afternoon.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.